Anybody watching at home right now that wonders if Billy the Fridge is too drunk? I'm not too drunk. I'm
Billy is the boss right now. Look at this shit.
Whoa!
That's a man drinking right
Two
there, y'all.
tequilas right there
That's
in a
some
whiskey.
motherfucking
Chase it with that whiskey, man.
looking man. Look at him. Looking like all cute and stuff and vomit in his throat. He just keep going because he's the boss.
Oh, wait a minute.
Boss.
Wait a minute.
Oh!
Yes! Yes!
We're fighting over who's better, Pokemon or Mario. It's also important to know that I rode the short bus at the time.
What a surprise.
The argument started on the short bus, and when we got out, we were arguing, like, I was like, Pokemon's better! And he's like, no, Mario's better.
My fantasies about Spurgs on the short bus arguing about this shit, I never thought that it was actually a reality.
Well, I only rode the short bus because, well, what happened is, like, I was like, I'm being bullied on the normal bus, and they were like, oh, better put you on the short bus. And I thought,
where you can fist fight retards.
I'm pretty sure the reason they put me on there wasn't because I was being bullied, though.
Listen to this shit.
Sure just said that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm the only one that doesn't actually belong here. I'm not like these guys.
Sounds like you're in denial.
No, that's what I thought, but now that I'm thinking back on it, maybe there were some reasons, like...
You keep us from loving.
Why are you so Don't do it, you fucking disgusting motherfucker.
Am I the only... Are Jeff and Joe about to fuck?
I don't know. This is so ridiculously
Jeff
bad.
pulling his boots off. This is serious.
I'm pulling my boots off.
In the shower.
You know I'm filming this, right?
You know what? Fuck you. You did this.
Close the door and lock it then. I don't want to see this.
Oh, right. Sorry. Is he naked? He is naked, yeah. He's naked.
Joe's naked.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's cold. I told you.
Go ahead. Go in there. Come on, buddy. You're already halfway there, right?
Hey, you know what?
Lather him up.
You know what? You don't even get to watch. Fuck you. What are you doing?
Jeff shut the door and Joe's like, what are you doing, dude? Open the fucking door.
Oh, yeah. Are Joe's clothes out in the hallway?
Fine.
Are you guys naked?
You can come watch us bathe naked.
Gayfabe shut off.
I don't think watching you and coming are going to happen, honestly.
Gayfabe shut off the second the door shut. Joe was like, what are you doing? This is gay.
What are you doing, dude? It's too much.
Ben, why are you making this awkward?
But you gotta come in.
I don't want, no.
You gotta get a shot from here.
Why
No.
are you making this awkward?
We can't put this on fucking Reddit or on Vimeo, dude.
What the fuck's wrong with you, Ben?
Joe's completely naked.
I know he is.
I'm like ready to get completely naked. Like,
Dude, don't show me your dick.
Come on in.
No.
You're being a real asshole.
You are.
what the fuck? Look, it's just a couple of guys getting naked and showering together.
In my room.
You've gotta make this weird.
In my
Why
room.
is he making this weird?
Primates
Get
bang
out of
each
my
other all the
room.
time. It's bonding.
All right, open the door, Billy. Open the door. I'm pushing his ass out into the hallway.
damn it, not
He's
again.
gonna be locked out.
Not again.
Oh, God.
Put your fucking clothes on.
All right, I gotta find my pants.
You know where they are.
I gotta look.
And I'm smiling so fucking happy. Ben couldn't hit me if he's rapping. I'm happy that he ain't, cause he's probably a taint with the stinky nuts. I'm about to drink it up like another fucking bottle of gin. Young rum Billy Fridge sipping it in. Into the bottle. Young Billy Fridge about to butt fuck a model. Young Billy Fridge about to motherfucking fuck a bitch down where she shits.
I turned Green Day into a rap.
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
That one sounds like that riff.
Looking back on my childhood, I realized, like, holy shit. I legitimately was a special needs child for most.
I'm just now realizing this.
Well, at the time, I felt normal because I was like super autistic it wasn't until I went through occupational therapy that I started to act a bit normal. And even now, I'm like, I just like, I guarantee you, if I wasn't so antisocial and cynical, if it didn't become such a soulless husk, I would probably be acting just as freaky. Like I have, but I don't know. There's this one person in my this one like super autistic kid in almost all of my animation classes, and it's like this shattered reflection of what could have been.
Are you noticing that there's a lot of autistic kids in the same classes as you?
There are like a couple majorly autistic kids, but most of them are pretty normal.
Do you have to leave the main school building and go to like a different building for some of your classes? Okay. Well, there you go.
You have to walk in a line of fucking little spurg kids everywhere you go.
Wow. It could always be worse. You could be as autistic as Kristen Weston Chandler.
I got vertigo! I got vertigo! Stop! It's not what it looks like. We're fucking.
I'm gonna play a terrible song in the meantime.
Yeah. My song.
This is a good song.
No, it's not.
This is a really good song.
No, it's not.
This was in Super Mario.
Shakalaka boom boom boom. Shakalaka boom boom boom. Shakalaka boom boom. Boom boom. Boom boom. Shakalaka laka boom. Boom boom. Shakalaka laka boom. Boom boom. Shakalaka laka boom.
I can't take it. I can't do it.
I had a cigarette.
A cigarette.
I watched Miami Vice.
It's so bad.
Dinosaur.
We need to do a remix of this called The
Come on,
Dino.
everybody, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Come on, everybody, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. I watch Miami Vice and have a cigarette. I watch Miami Vice. Come on, everybody, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Come on, everybody, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Boom, shakalaka, boom. I give up.
You give up?
I give up.
Do you give up?
I give up.
Hold on. I want you to say I quit.
$1 donation from Obi-Wan BD1.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, $10 donation.
$10
Oh, God,
donation.
make it stop.
You gotta do a shot, Billy.
Okay, come on. Come on.
$10 donation,
Come on,
man.
Benjamin.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God, there's
keep
two
it down,
drink
man.
bitches.
Oh, another one. Oh, you
Fill
got
up a
four
double. Fill up a
shots,
double.
man.
Fill it up, Ben. We're gonna fucking Comrade Kenny, dude. Just starving. I'm hurling. No, I ain't never hurling. I ain't never puked. Young Ben, you was starving. Little trouble on the bubble with tell pop. Young Bill Fridge ain't gon' stop. Cause I ain't never puked. Ben puked 74 times. I'm stacking hella dimes. Call me Young Bill Fridge with the money. Ain't that shit funny? I got honey like I'm Pooh Bear. Who there? That rabbit? Bitch, please. Drinking is a habit. And I'm still sipping. Lil pimpin'. Young Bill Fridge about to get the gripping.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Say, man, you got a joint? No. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast 443. love that part where G-Time Tiny's like, pop, pop.
Yeah. Every time Ben pops.
So tonight we have Pimp Monk, and we have the Humanist Report.
Yes. I go by Mike Figueredo or the Humanist Report, whichever one is easier. My last name's a little bit difficult, so you can call me Humanist Report, you can call me Mike, you can call me Mark. I'm cool with whatever.
What about Mr. Sexy?
I'm not okay with that, but I'll let it slide.
What about if I
Wow.
think you're sexy?
Me too, Pimp Monk.
Before we go on the air, Pimp Monk's explaining how he's straight, not gay. And when we first go
Billy
on
was talking about sucking my dick.
when we first, okay, whatever. Don't say other people are more gay to make it seem like you're less gay.
Now it sounds like you're gay
Yeah,
and
I love
homophobic.
being gay.
You're and now you're like, what about if I suck this
Wait a
young
minute.
man's dick?
Billy, how can I be gay?
Wow, you have a nice set though, Mike.
Yeah, I just set up this new set, completely funded by viewers.
Wow.
Really awesome. Yeah.
When Ben said you had a nice set, I was thinking he saw like a picture of your balls or something.
No.
I was like,
I'm not an admirer of balls.
But then I remembered,
Very much.
the set that he's in front of right now is very nice, so that must be what Ben's talking about. Since
There
I don't
shouldn't
see any
be
balls.
pictures of that on the internet, so we should be good.
Cool.
Yeah, tonight is it's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. man.
I'm a little
birthday,
more like
Benjamin.
tilted drunk than usual.
Yeah, I went and picked up Benjamin at a bar, and we had a nice little lunch, and came back here, and we've been working on the
Yeah.
show, and Ben was like, I gotta take a piss! And
A few times.
Then we had some technical difficulties, so if anybody's like, you're light scammers, guess what? It's Ben's birthday.
Yeah.
You're never late for a party on your birthday.
No, never.
Daddy.
Apparently I got some black shit on my arm.
Is it a tattoo?
No, I got some damn dust from this fucking desk.
got some dog shit on my arm. Oh, damn it.
That'd be great if there was like a guy who had tattoos that were just like a piece of dog shit rolled across his arm.
Some dog shit on my arm.
That'd be a terrible supervillain that was just man covered in dog shit. He would just wreak havoc by standing in line next to you at the supermarket or the bank. You're like, hey man, you know you're covered in dog shit. He's like, yes. Yes. I'm Captain Dog Shit. Foiled again.
I'm Captain Dog Shit.
All you're doing is stinking everything up like dog shit. Yes. Worst villain ever.
Yeah.
Bill Monk's like defeated now.
I'm like, what?
He's like, oh. So we're all making plans for VidCon, and Pimp Monk's like, Billy can suck my dick because I won't take a bus if I want that.
Yeah, I'm like, that sucks. Like,
It don't suck to me.
Yeah. Let's hear it out. So, Billy, tell me the reasons why you think Pimp Monk should not take a bus.
I feel like the extra $40 or $50 you save on a bus ticket versus plane ticket.
You mean extra
is
$300?
$300.
Yeah.
How much
What
is
are
your
you
bus
flying,
ticket?
first class?
How much is your bus ticket?
My bus ticket was, I checked on all three, bus and train and plane, and the bus was like 3 something, the plane was like 6 something, and the train was like 1,000. So,
What's the closest? What's the closest hub city to you? What's the biggest city near you?
Memphis.
Memphis. So get a Memphis ticket with
ticket.
Southwest. Get a bus ticket to
Southwest
Memphis.
doesn't run through there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know. I've already checked it.
It runs through Nashville then.
Well, I mean, Southwest, the real cheap one, right? They do not run there. I checked some months back. I mean, I take flights. I love the bus. I love
you want to
the
be on the
bus.
bus for like 3 or 4 days? Like honestly,
2 days.
$300, 2 days. If you can't,
2 days each.
But 4
trip.
days total.
Yes.
We're talking 4 days total.
I enjoy it, so what the fuck cares?
You
I
crazy,
am.
man.
I am
You're gonna be
crazy.
on that bus. You're gonna be on the bus for over half a week, and
And
that's
that's
worth
fine.
$300 to you.
Yes.
Like to
How
me,
long are you staying there, though? Because maybe that will make it more worthwhile.
How long am I staying 9 days?
Okay, so basically you're traveling almost as long as you're there. I don't know. To me, that sounds like torture. I just took a train for 4 hours to Seattle.
Thank you.
And I had such bad anxiety, like just on 4 hours. But then again, I suck at traveling in general. But
A 4-hour train to Seattle?
So, are you from Portland or what?
Yeah, I'm from Portland. Yeah. So I mean,
okay.
Yeah, it was
Benjamin and
the
I took a
cheapest way.
4-hour train to Portland recently.
That
Did you
weird,
really?
awkward, naked video you saw where Jeff Holiday was naked with Joe and the weird like sexual thing that they did.
Yeah,
was filming that
together that I
orgy.
filmed in my hotel room for some reason. That was in Portland.
That was in Portland. See, I don't know what I think that weird things just go down in Portland. I think that's what it is. It was the spirit of the city.
I never do this. Like, I am not a West Coaster at all. I did not realize, like, I thought Portland would be like Seattle, you know, and I've lived in Seattle for a few years now. I go down to Portland. It's just so different.
Yeah. Portland is a very unique city, but it's endearing. Like, it's weird. It's a little bit off-putting, but, you know, depending on where you go. But it's definitely, there's a lot to love about Portland.
I was in Portland for a show, and I had to fend off the street corner.
You're the best female MC I've ever seen in my life.
God, that's what this waitress said to me after my rap show. I think she said that because the club was loud, but I swear she said, "You're like the best female MC I've ever seen." But she was so freaking hot that I was like, and she was like really feeling me when she said it. So I'm thinking, is she trying to get some scissors? She trying to be a scissor sister?
Would you pretend to be a woman?
I would have
to hit that.
I would have, yeah.
Damn.
I would have tucked it back and bumped
would be like,
my foop up against her. I would have too. And then when my dick popped out, I'd be like, I just identify, and then I smash. It's that simple. It's that simple, man.
Don't blame me a bit, buddy.
That's ox as fuck though. Like,
she was so hot too. I didn't know what to say. It really threw me off. I was like, thank you. If I would have been smoother in that moment, I could be married to her right now. We could have like 4 little lesbian kids. It'd be fucking perfect.
Until she's looking for your vagina.
Well, she can find it.
She can find it.
If it makes you feel any better, Billy, I've been through the drive-thru at least like 2 times in my life where I'll give my order, and then they'll be like, "That's $5.75. I'll have a great day, ma'am. I'll see you in a minute," or whatever. Just they call me ma'am basically. And when I worked really shortly for Xbox customer support, I was called ma'am like multiple times, and I have a pretty, effeminate voice, but it's when they see me in person, like at the drive-thrus, when it's pretty funny because they like you just see them hit like with this bearded dude, and they don't know like should I acknowledge it? Should I you just see their eyes kind of like? So I can empathize a little bit. It hurts a little. It hurts a little.
Say, how dare you, young man?
Well, I don't know what to do personally. I just try to make my voice deeper. Like after they call me ma'am, I'll be like, "Thank you." Okay,
thank you.
I'll be up there.
I'm so androgynous.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I'm so androgynous that prostitutes have called me ma'am mid blowjob. It's very demeaning. It's very demeaning.
It's something that us soy boys have to deal with. I don't know if you identify as a soy boy, but
I'm a roid boy.
It's a soy boy issue. Yeah.
I'm a fucking Chad, dude.
I'm just a fat dude with a small dick.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Benpai.
Please make sure you can afford your rent, please.
Or if you're on the street, if you have to go on the street, learn some tips about being homeless from me and Pimp Monk.
Mm-hmm. Learn how to suck a dick.
You can always go to like Whole Foods and get all the condiments and utensils you want for free. If there's a Whole Foods near you, get all the condiments and utensils you need for free. If you're homeless, you can have that and then just go get like a little piece of fucking chicken from the garbage. You're eating good. Make yourself a stew.
Wear nothing but some newspaper on your crotch. People give you money to walk away from them.
I'd like a rotisserie chicken.
A rotisserie?
Piece.
A little piece
from
of
the
rotisserie
garbage.
From the garbage.
A rotisserie.
A rotisserie.
A rotisserie.
A rotisserie.
Trump stares down man with KKK shirt.
You have Kate in San Francisco, who was killed. Kate.
Look at they're all cheering like Stone Cold Steve Austin just joined Generation X.
Fact of the matter is,
Donald Trump just joined the KKK. Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
By God, King, they're gonna hang the black guy. I did him the wall.
Fuck. That's a shitty shirt.
Yeah, he bought that shirt and took a fucking magic marker and drew KKK.
He might have brought the
Trump.
magic marker into the rally with him and drawn it on there because he didn't want to get like caught with a KKK shirt walking in.
Yeah,
that's the president there. Everybody there probably got vetted on their way in. I wish he spelled endorses wrong, or at least wrote the D backwards. You garbage, Benpai.
Garbage.
Thank you.
I feel like Trump's about to cut a promo.
Yeah, he is.
On a face turn.
Oh, let me. This is the weigh-in or the contract signing.
For real.
You gonna put him in the Trump bottom.
It's better than McGregor Mayweather.
That cocky looking motherfucker.
God.
You see, in the good old days, law enforcement acted a lot quicker than this.
Oh, they would have shot that piece of shit immediately for fucking with the president.
You mean the good old days when law enforcement was all KKK?
In the good old days, they would have murdered that piece of shit and he would have never been seen again.
He'd be in a riverbank in Mississippi. Fuck.
Yes.
I don't know what to say other than I wish the shirt was a little better designed.
Yeah, it was kind of shitty, but hey.
A lot quicker.
A lot quicker.
In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast.
Does he not realize, though, saying in the good old days when it comes to the
politically
KKK may
correct.
not be
Our
the best
country's
words?
going to hell with being politically correct.
Do you think if Obama was there and they were like Obama endorses, I don't know, terrorism? You think Obama would say something like I
In the good old days, they would have thrown that motherfucker in prison immediately.
Do you think he would allude to not endorsing it at all, or do you think he would just like write it off like, oh, whatever? Maybe. My t-shirts are better than yours, bitch. MAGA.
Here's 91-year-old man fires gun at Indiana McDonald's. Damn, this is like the beat for Billy's next single right here.
I fire a gun at McDonald's, and everyone act
Damn, look
I'll be
at
bluffing, guns in your face. That's not a very good rap song. What the fuck?
These two motherfuckers, whoa.
That has been Meth
Holiday
and group. Hey,
for tomato.
They take the tomatoes seriously in Indiana. Goddammit.
If it was pickles, there wouldn't have been a gun discharge. But tomatoes, you can't fuck with tomatoes.
And nobody killed nobody over a pickle.
Well, down here we say maters, but you know, maters.
Revolver and Bailey.
That name seemed to be a little extreme. Trying to shoot somebody over a fucking tomato.
Look at this motherfucker, though. No wonder he shot at him.
That dude,
I mean, seriously.
that dude has seen meth
This
before, I
motherfucker
guarantee
coming
you.
at me.
If anybody was the White Devil, it's this guy.
If this dude's coming at me and I got a gun, fuck yeah, I'm shooting at him.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Because he's on meth. He can
Yeah, I'm not mad right now. This guy looks like he's about to transform into his final evolution.
He almost looks like kneel before Zod.
Oh my god.
I need more context about the tomato, though. Like, I feel like they can't just say that an argument ensued over the tomato, but then they don't tell us what specifically. Like, did he want an extra tomato? I need more about the tomato.
Well, the
Yeah,
tomato
yeah. There was
wasn't-
little information about the
I
tomato.
said stop
enough
about
whole-
the fucking tomato.
Detail.
There was
This
not
tomato
enough
is
pulp in
diced.
the tomato.
Was it the
So-
wrong kind of tomato? Like, I'm intrigued now, and they just kind of leave you hanging there.
They kept the
It was
tomato in the refrigerator and it killed that chemical that gives it the taste. That's what it was.
So if that meth head was Neil before Zod, is the other guy Neil before Degrassi Tyson?
Grassy.
Degrassy. Your grassy ass.
The grassy ass. Happy Cinco de Mayo, white boys. Yeah, that was nuts. It's one time a shooting is actually fucking warranted.
Years from now, they will
I'd probably
look
shot at that
the history
motherfucker
of the-
too.
Years from now, they will look in history books and we will have the Battle of the Tomato.
He looks scary as shit. I would have shot at him. Like,
He looks like
this guy's trying to get my car and I had a gun. I'd be like, fuck you, bitch.
He's like the season finale bad guy that's introduced on an episode of Breaking Bad.
Right.
Nope, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that in my life.
Maybe the tomato had meth in it.
If I was 91 years old, I'd be rolling around with a gun too.
The tomato.
I got time for these sucker ducking
No
tomato
fun with
face
my
motherfuckers.
tomato, yeah.
That was the dude had a tomato face.
I mean, look at these guys. I think it was over something besides a fucking tomato.
I kind of agree.
If it makes you
Holy
happy,
shit.
Wow,
nice.
Annoyed gamer with the
We're
love.
not even like how many
the
minutes?
birthday love.
And I'm drunk, dude.
It's just
I feel so unentertainingly drunk.
it's just one of those days. It's a birthday. This is this is lay back.
It's too bad I ate my carrot.
Did you just
cake
pull out a
yesterday.
Limp Biscuit? It's one of those days.
It's one of those days.
Yeah,
Benjamin had carrot cake yesterday.
I did.
Oh, carrot cake's
Damn,
good.
dude. That delicious ass cream cheese frosting.
I bet. Dog,
I know you want.
I'm on keto.
I know.
I'm about to go home and have a birthday Quest bar, a birthday cake flavored Quest bar. Happy birthday, Benjamin! Eating my fucking transferred protein bar.
Birthday cheese.
All right.
Good morning and welcome to the beach here in County Sligo. It's a beautiful spring morning, calm, right here in front of Killisburg-Born Cashel, which is a monastic site, before that a druidic site, and that's how Ireland got its glorious age of the land of saints and scholars. They weren't Christians who did it, they were Irish Druids who were brought into the Catholic Church mainly as culdeas. And it's a beautiful place here today. There's you want to be somewhere when the shit goes down, these are the kind of place you want to be. Look, I'm surrounded by food. Food everywhere. Food everywhere. You can eat just about everything around here. And
They look like rocks to me.
this rock I'm sitting on is full of these periwinkles, or cockles. Some places I think they call them
snails.
Well, periwinkles, and what they are is the sea snails, and they're delicious with a bit of garlic and balsamic vinegar. And we ate them when we were kids in Dublin. They all went out of fashion because people are brainwashed by fast food companies and stuff like that. But yeah, food's everywhere. It's all over. Just understanding your ecological environment is a key to survival. Now, I come out here just for walks today. I'm out doing a bit of magnetic fishing. I never find anything, but it's just a bit of fun and it's a bit of exercise.
What is that?
Doing a little magnetic fishing? Food's everywhere, Ben. Pollution's also everywhere.
What is this guy?
What if you live next to a
Someone
shit
said
factory?
this to torture me.
He's munching cockles, man. You don't want
periwinkles.
You don't want to go down on the beach and munch some cockles and go a little for metal fishing with your magnetron?
No,
it's cockalicious.
And so it's just nice in a day like this, an early morning like this before I start my regular job. And so as we have the ecological environment, we also have the psychic environment.
I believe he eats cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers. Mike, are you a vegan?
No.
Okay, I didn't know how deep the soy boyness went with you.
No. I there were times in my life where I kind of like was going towards vegetarianism and was kind of technically a vegetarian, but I fucked it up pretty quickly. So now I'm off of that, but I certainly do feel for people who are vegetarian and vegans and whatnot.
You feel them?
I feel for them. I think they have the right argument. Once. Did you really?
Yeah, she had some itty bitty titties. Here's the story though. You ever forage? Because I know the Oregon coast has a lot of beach. Over 9,000.
Yes. There was.
I know the
one
Oregon
too.
coast has a lot of beach there, and you could probably go like foraging for snails or clams and shit. You ever do
I'm
that?
not a seafood person at all, and no.
There you go, man. You're getting the
Thank
tips tonight, man. Look at hell you. Birthday boy getting spoiled over there.
Should I turn on 9/11 mode and then like how long is the show gonna last? Like 10
You
more
might die,
minutes?
man. You
I'm
might
gonna say
die, bro.
no.
Can we make it like 2011 mode?
2011 mode?
Where instead of 9, it's 20.
How about you just have a birthday drink with everybody?
I had one earlier.
Oh, true.
I don't think 9/11 was actually the best decision, but that's just
yeah.
Who are you, my dad?
Have a psychic weather, and this is how people always say to me, Thomas, you're able. It seems like you're able to predict the future at times. I do things like going on the Lou Collins show a week before Trump was elected, do a tarot card reading, and the tarot card reading said that a strong man who lives in a tower will not.
Tarot card readings like work the same way as cold reading. I mean, they don't do anything.
I'm starting to think this guy is not that fucking cool for foraging cockles. I thought he was ahead of the game here, but now he's talking about tarot.
Ahead a little bit.
And you'll find an object on the ground that's
he's like everything I hate about vegan chicks.
Things like this. So
without
always
any
look
of the
for your
fuckability.
synchronicities and your simulacrum. This is how one of the ways of developing your magical self.
A simulacrum.
And this is what's happening here. We're seeing that these people don't really have any power. They're not, and you hear it. They're not satanic. They're Christians. That's why they don't have any magic. Christians don't have magic. And,
Christians don't have
well,
magic.
Catholics used to before the Latin Mass was done.
Okay, I can't even do it anymore.
This guy's talking about the fucking simulacrum robot clones.
Let's go back to the news. This was mixed up in the wrong place.
You don't want the Jesuit clones?
Hey, Jesus.
By
is
the
pretty
way,
fucking magical, by the way.
the intro video that we played at the beginning of the show, it was a little long, so we didn't play all of it. Those are some highlights from some of our Patreon things that we've done recently.
The itty bitty highlights.
If you want to check that out, if you become a patron, you can see all that shit.
Hell yeah.
I like how this guy just jumped out of your birthday cake in the wrong segment and everything to give you fucking
Happy
foraged cockles.
birthday, Mr. Benpai'S.
Is there a cockle community on YouTube or
Let's talk
something?
about this Irish thing over
This guy's
here.
definitely an Irish manatee.
Ah, very good. That's true. He kind of reminds.
He looks so much like Hodor from Game of Thrones.
That's what I wanted to say right off the bat, but I refrained from it. I was like, I don't want to class this guy as Hodor off the bat because Hodor is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
and if this guy turns out to be some cockle hunting fucking weirdo, I don't want to put him in bed with Hodor. What happened?
Sorry.
He's over here playing tarot about the fucking man in the high castle. Fuck out of here.
My Skype went poo for a second.
Yeah, it was funny because you just like went totally frozen.
Yeah.
So a package is misdelivered to your home, meant for somebody who lives nearby. What do? You just walk it over to them, right? Well, when that happened recently to an attorney in Arizona named Sean Carter, he instead called to have it picked up and redelivered. Why? As he explained in a viral Facebook post, because he is black. In Carter's post, which so far has more than 210,000 likes and 120,000 shares, he explained neither he nor his teenage sons could walk it over because there was a, quote, realistic chance that a neighbor would see them as a threat and call the police or even pull a gun. Carter cited the recent story of a Michigan 14-year-old named Brennan Walker, who was lost and knocked on a door to ask for directions. The homeowner, afraid Walker was a burglar, summoned her husband.
Rochester Hills, Michigan. Yeah. That's like Detroit area.
Opened
Why don't
fire
they
on
just
the
do what
team.
everybody else does?
So Carter
Open the
wrote,
box and
quote,
keep whatever's inside. Duh.
I can't
Come
trust
on.
that my white neighbors won't see me, a Harvard-educated lawyer, or my 14-year-old honor student son as a roaming homicidal maniac. This is what it's like to be black in post-racial America.
Well, it's like to be black in Michigan because Michigan is a lot of black people and there's a lot of crime. So,
right.
There's a lot of white people in Michigan, though, too.
Depending on where you live.
Ann Arbor.
Okay. Is this Ann Arbor?
I don't know.
No.
I don't want to sound racist. I'm not trying to be racist,
I think
but
it's-
let's.
There's a lot of honor students in Ann Arbor.
Detroit area is like 85, 89% black.
In response, his post was flooded with 79,000 plus comments, both from sympathizers and from those calling him a racist. Carter then asked in a subsequent post, so why all the vitriol? Because I'm afraid for my children? And even if my fear was completely irrational, is that a reason for anger and hatred? Sean Carter joins me now. Tell me the conversation around
need
your
reasons.
kitchen table. How does your wife and how do your
Facebook,
sons
dude.
feel about this whole controversy?
People wake up angered and hated.
As far as my wife, and that's
on
how I found
Facebook.
out about it. The package is on the front porch. I ask her. She says it's for a neighbor, and she had already looked at the address, and it's not on our street where our neighbors know us, but it would be a couple blocks over. And, you know, from us, it was unspoken that we would not be delivering that package. Now, let's understand, I live in a gated community here in Arizona. We have gates for a couple reasons. One, we want to keep the old people from running off, and that's a problem. But also, there's a reason that you have gates, and it's not to keep the rich people out. It's to keep out the undesirable element. Whatever.
I'm glad this guy uses quotes.
I like
when he's-
keep the old people from running off too.
Yeah, I'm glad he just assumed that all old people will run off. You old,
They
you
will.
ageist. He's an ageist.
Oh, he means like the dementia patients
Yeah, I
that
know
live in
what
his
he
gated community.
It's either you either put up gates or you put the old people on leashes, and they don't like that anymore.
Whatever that might be. Now,
don't
right
like
now,
that
I have a suit on. I don't look like the undesirable element.
Oh, no,
but
2011.
in a hoodie.
It was a good year.
And in what weekend attire, I would look like the person you'd call. All right, to worry about your neighborhood. I wasn't going to subject myself or my 14-year-old.
What do you mean you'd look like the person you'd call? I mean, like you don't look like you live on the streets. You're wearing a nice suit. Like your hair looks well done. Your facial hair looks nice. I mean, I look like more of a street person than you do.
Yeah, I'd shoot you if you brought a box to my house.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
what the
I'll
fuck?
shoot the fuck out of Ben.
I wouldn't shoot this guy though. I'd
You
ask
hate
him
me
for a
because you
loan.
hate me.
Oh, he's a lawyer and a humorist. He's a humorist.
He has not said one thing humorous.
That's jumping out at me right
Let me
now.
call-
As
I might as well call myself a humorist if he does.
Hi, you might as well call yourself a fucking lawyer.
What is he spinning? Oh shit!
This guy's so far from humor in every aspect of this video.
Well, you just killed Ben. I'm joking.
Ben's gonna die.
Ben's gonna die here this evening.
Tequila.
Oh, tequila.
All right, we're going back to the story.
We're going.
Sons
we're
to
going
that.
back.
Now, the conversations I have with my sons are interesting because, you know, they weren't raised like I was. I'm straight out of Compton, and I don't just mean I have the T-shirt and I saw the movie. I have it on my birth certificate. I was always right. I was
That's the
raised
humor
knowing
right
I
there.
was black.
Yeah, I reference growing up in the hood and the white guy giggles. That's humor. That's so funny. I'm so glad this guy grew up in the hood. That was the fucking white guy's giggle.
The white guy's just scared because he's talking to a black dude.
I think the white guy's scared because he's part egg and his head might crack open.
Yeah, glasses up, dude totally looks like a fucking egg. Damn.
It does.
Give that guy a Bam Bam Bigelow tattoo or something. Help him out.
Yeah.
This seems like such a non-issue story.
It is.
Oh, Facebook's racist? No shit. Oh, this guy doesn't want to deliver a package. One, you live in a gated community and you're fucking a Harvard-educated doctor? Was that it? Because you shouldn't be delivering a fucking package anyways. Call them. They'll come pick that shit up, dude. That's their fucking job. You got way more important things to do, I would think. But now that you're on the news talking about how the fucking Facebook is racist, maybe you had some time to drop off that fucking box. I don't know, man. I'm not the type of guy to live in fear, but that's because I'm white. So I'm like born special, right? Isn't that what that means? So I don't have to live in fear.
You got all that privilege.
I got that privilege.
Is he on to talk about the response or the original post? Because I'm confused as to why.
I think the post.
The original post?
Wrote viral Facebook post on racial fear.
My sons had to be taught. I had a conversation with my youngest son once and explained to him that he was black, and he was like, no, I'm light brown. And I was like, well, let me explain to you what this means. And so we're having these conversations quite often.
I think that's very intelligent of your son to say. I think for your son who is like what we would call black, to like realize I'm still not the same color as these other people that also call themselves black. I mean, that's just real, you know? Like Irish people and Italians, we call them both white, but are they even close to the same skin tone? No.
I don't think they get all the special privileges I do.
What?
The Italians or the Irish? They're not as special as me, are they?
Give me some of the privileges that you get.
Do you
man.
not
What's
have
some of
any?
the privileges?
Do you not have any Irish?
I actually do have like 25% Irish.
I would think you did because you're so fair skinned.
Okay. Never mind. I'm now living in racial fear too.
You're non-privileged now.
I'm no longer privileged.
You lost all of them.
Often,
Well, I'm
and
still
it's funny. Their
privileged.
reactions are a lot like probably some of your some of the critics on Facebook. I took the kids to see Hidden Figures last year. Almost had to pull a gun on a couple of them to get them to go see it.
Nice.
What?
Nice. This is where the humor. This is where the humorist comes out, right?
He just admit like pulling a gun on his kids?
Yeah, he almost had to pull a gun on them. Took him to go see it. Well, that's hood. That's funny. I love a good.
That's kind of concerning.
I love a good gangster joke from a Harvard-educated man, not from an actual gangster, because that would scare the shit out of me. But this is the type of gangster I like. A non-gangster telling me these gangsterisms. Thank you so much for whiteifying this, just for me. Just for me and Mr. Egghead over here.
How much you gonna bet he's married to a white bitch?
He's like borderline Conehead. I mean, like the top of his head from his eyebrows up to the like tip top of his head.
I want to see
is so long. He looks like Dan Aykroyd.
I want to see him consume mass quantities.
Now I'm not going to be able to unsee that. You could fit two of his faces vertically on his head.
Yes, someone could take. I would say at least from like the nose down. Like from the nose down, you could take that and flip it upside down and put it on like the top of his head.
Well, that's how all faces are supposed to be, right? The eye line's supposed to be the middle of your face.
No,
the
stop defending this freak of nature, Billy the Fridge.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Freak of nature.
So with this post, so I feel like this should go without saying, but Facebook and social media in general is just not a very effective place to have like really substantive and nuanced discussions about race. I mean, you could spread awareness about certain issues, but I feel like I understand what he was trying to do. Like, I think that it is important to elevate issues about like social and racial awareness. Like, certainly people of color have a different experience than white people in this country. But the reason why I think this post backfired is because people who don't know anyone who's black probably read that and thought, well, I would never shoot a black person, so he's assuming that I'm racist. And then there's almost like this knee-jerk reaction to kind of like push back against what he's saying. So I feel like I don't know. This type of thing, it just you can't substitute like a conversation and like getting to know someone, because I do think it's important that we know about the experience of Black people and what the way that they live in fear for certain issues that we don't think about. But on Facebook, it's awful. Facebook is not a good platform for it. So I can kind of see both sides of the situation.
The original story was like a young man in the Detroit area was shot at.
Right, which is
for
crazy.
Not doing anything wrong. But the thing is like 10 years ago, there was a young woman who was in a car accident who was like mildly injured and went to like the closest house for help. And the guy at the house thought she was trying to break in and shot and killed her.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like this story kind of like harkened back to that, because it was in the same area where, racial tensions are still at a pretty all-time high overall.
Absolutely. I think that, like, I understand what he was saying, because the previous story about the guy who was shot when he was trying to deliver a package, I can see how if you are someone who's Black in America, in a country with just a history of overt racism and still has huge problems. I mean, our president is Donald Trump, but I mean, like, I get how those types of stories affect you, because for me, just thinking back to like when I was in 3rd grade and I heard about Matthew Shepard when he was killed, like for me back then, I was really young. I didn't know that I was gay or whatever, but I still was relatively effeminate and I would get teased for that. So I remember when he was killed for being gay, that story really resonated with me, and that I was really aware, as someone who like 3rd or 4th grade at the time, of the way I was acting. So I get like how those types of stories really have an impact on someone who is from a marginalized community. Like every time you see these stories about people of color being killed by a police officer who are unarmed, like that strikes that fear. Even if statistically it's low, I mean, that still strikes that fear. So I definitely understand.
This is different though. This isn't a police officer. This is a homeowner. Like, and
right.
this
No,
is
I'm just saying in general. Yeah.
This is from the story I was talking about. I think the original incident probably happened around 2010 or something, but this man, this was the man who shot this woman. He was found guilty of murder because she came, her name was McBride. Her last name was Renisha McBride. She was in a car accident, went to his house for help, and he saw her and shot her and killed her.
Damn.
And this is in the Detroit area, like the same area where this other thing happened.
But is that racist or just scared because of all the crime in Detroit? I mean,
it's okay to be cautious because of the crime, but you shouldn't be like firing at people.
Exactly, I agree
knocking
with
on
that.
your door.
Yeah.
You should be like, get the fuck. I mean, you should either be like, why are you here, or be like, get the fuck away from my house. Like,
I feel like you can't just really put this into like a black and white category. There's a lot of nuance. Everyone in this country, like for me, I don't answer the door to anyone that I don't know. Just in general, in America, we're very like, we're averse to social interactions. It's not necessarily because I'm scared, just because I don't want to talk to someone who's going to try to sell me something, for example. But just in general, Americans, like, we're skeptical socially. We're not like other countries. Like a long time ago, I watched this documentary about these refugees who are from Sudan, and their culture is completely different. Like, you just walk into people's houses and say hello over there, whereas that's not the case in America. So they were talking about how weird this cultural almost animosity is between people, where like we're not generally friendly towards each other. So I mean, you can certainly say that in general we have a distrust as Americans, but also maybe it's the case also that there are some underlying racial biases. It's difficult to say. I don't know. So this is a story that really I don't think there's really any conclusion to take away from this story other than there's nuance and complexities. But we live in a really complex world. People, they have sometimes contradictory views on the world. Sometimes maybe they don't have racial biases that would, implore them to be afraid if a black person came to their door. Maybe they do. It's tough to say, but in general, I think we're trained to not want to talk to people like that.
Here's the thing. It's one thing if they're coming to your door. It's another thing if they're like kicking your door in,
Totally.
and, like, trying to get inside.
How else are you going to make sure the package is delivered on time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know how you think it. Like, someone could be pounding on your door outside that doesn't give you the right to shoot them.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
isn't that just a gun culture, though? Really?
Yeah,
But
maybe,
I mean-
think about this. How after the Aurora shooting in Colorado, like, I don't know about you guys, but the next time I went to a movie theater after that, I felt kind of afraid. Like, I was, checking. Anytime there was a school shooting, I kind of watch over my shoulder when I'm in class. I think that these stories really, they have this psychological impact on people, and I kind of feel like that's the way that the story initially about the person who was the person of color who was shot maybe affected this guy.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But I feel like people should face these fears. And if you're afraid of getting shot in a movie theater, you should get a movie pass and go watch a movie every fucking day. If you're afraid of getting shot in school, you should go get a.
I feel like it's a flip of the coin. Like, getting shot by a random shooter is like, I mean, it's even less of a chance than getting killed in a car accident when you go on the road every day.
I feel like you have to be extremely lucky to
unless
be in that
I'm
position.
like,
or unlucky.
Unless I'm like in a gang or something, and like in a line of work where people would want to shoot at me on a regular basis. My chances of getting shot randomly are so low. I just don't even think about it.
Like working at a Waffle House. If you work at a Waffle House, expect to get shot by a naked dude.
Well, if you work at YouTube, expect to get shot by a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you think about statistics for traveling by plane or by car. Like, it's safer to travel by plane, you know what I mean, statistically, but we're more afraid. I mean, just generally speaking, I am anyways, I'm more afraid to ride a plane than I am to get in a car. Even if statistically I know that that's irrational, it's just these things that really, we internalize these stories, they resonate with us, and they have an impact on us.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're flying from Miami to Seattle, your odds of dying are way greater than, or way greater driving than they are flying.
Totally.
I mean, like, your odds of, like, any type of accident, like blowing out a tire even, or, anything.
Well, that's definitely due to the media, though, because the media doesn't cover car crashes. They make a big deal when a plane crashes. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And we get it sunk in our heads that planes are dead. I mean, look, I'm guilty of that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of flying, even though I have done it quite a bit. I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm not a huge fan of it either, but I still recognize that it's way
I'm a big
safer.
fan of it. The only problem I have with flying is if I have to take a shit midair.
That's how I'm going to feel about the self-driving cars, too. I mean, like, I'm used to a human with intelligence, with training, that with experience.
I prefer the robot.
That knows how to drive on the road.
I prefer the algorithm and the robot, and I'd rather have that than a human.
My thing is, like, two algorithms not meshing well.
Well, good. Kill me then. Like, I'm not
gonna
going to live in fear of it.
You know what? To make it truly safe, there's going to have to be like a central computer that organizes all of these vehicles.
This is the thing, right? Like, they're going to have some kinks to work out. But only the rich are going to be able to afford these type of cars and rides.
Onision already has one.
A self-driving car?
He does.
He does?
His Tesla van is a self-driving car.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, that day he came to the old DP studio. He made a video with like him and Anastasia, and he was all like holding his hands over his eyes while the van was driving. Which, by the way, he has a Navy haircut again. You see that shit?
Your boy looks good.
Nah.
Onision looks good.
No, he doesn't.
He's sexy.
He looks like a penis head.
No, this fucking conehead motherfucker here looks like a penis head. But I don't know. This is kind of like a weird issue to be on CNN. It must be a slow news day. They must have been getting complaints about all the fucking Trump news articles they've been doing. So
well, CNN in general is not like a good gauge for what's happening in America. Like on my show a couple weeks ago, I just talked about how MSNBC and CNN, they did segments about how Donald Trump was doing like multiple spelling errors. Like they took the time to point out his spelling errors and whatnot. And like, I think it was Brian Stelter of CNN. He spent 4 minutes on this. Brian Williams of MSNBC spent 2 minutes on this. And I talked about how out of all the issues that you could be covering, this is what they choose to focus on. I mean, they don't talk about the economic policy with Donald Trump. They don't talk about foreign policy and the wars that he's waging and the drone wars. They talk about his spelling errors, something that is inconsequential. But they even made the case that, oh, this is really important. So it doesn't make sense to me that something on CNN is representative of what Americans care about, because it's totally not.
Oh, America.
Unemployment falls to the lowest point since 2000.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we do have breaking news right now because the Labor Department is releasing the April jobs report moments ago, and there's a big headline. Christine Romans joins us with the new numbers.
Hi, guys. What were you doing in December of the year 2000? That was the last time the unemployment rate was this low. 3.9% is the unemployment rate. You have to go all the way back to December 2000 to get a rate that low, below 4%. This is just another sign that the job market has been very strong and continues to do well. Here's what the job growth looks like: 164,000 net new jobs. It's a little light of what economists have been forecasting, but still a bounce back from March. And February and March and April, those numbers together are still showing you strength in the labor market. Where
What was
do we
that
see the
median
hiring
earning in 2000
business
compared to now?
Yeah,
That's the question.
And adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
information services.
People had better
This has been
jobs in
strong
2000.
hiring for companies across the country.
We
Healthcare,
did just have
24,000.
that
We've seen that year in,
.com
year out. A lot of
blowout
jobs
back
in
in
healthcare,
2000
all
though.
different kinds of jobs in healthcare. And manufacturing, fabricated metals, interestingly, saw a tick up. We also saw about 8,000 new jobs when you look over in mining. The market's not really responding too much here,
Mining?
in part because they're watching this wage number, you guys. Wage growth was 2.6% year over year. It's still not gangbusters in terms of getting a raise. If you have such a tight labor market, why aren't we getting more raises? We have not seen the strength in that part of the job market filtering through yet into paychecks the way you'd like to, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are new jobs, but paying is low.
Yeah. You can work, but you can't live.
Just be happy to have a job.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
That's huge. I mean, there's just no other way to slice it, as you point out.
It's a strong job market. It has been a very strong job market, and the lowest unemployment rate since 2000. And when you look at the underemployment rate, you guys, that's the people who are working, not working up to their potential, really out of work or working part-time but want to be working full-time. That's about 7.8%. That number is also falling here, so that's another good sign.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I got to look.
God damn it. Oh, damn. You see this one? Who is this long-winded fag? Oh, wait. That's just been mine.
Why is Barry Compton so mean to our buddy Pimp? So mean.
I'm so hurt and concerned about
Now it's
that.
time to stop making fun of Pimp Monk.
It bothers me so much. I'm crushed.
Bah.
Stop making fun of Pimp Monk now.
Bah. It's so mean. My jarbs. Taking my
I have to
jarbs.
see which of the industries that are moving, why they're moving, where you see the different wage inefficiencies. That's the right question. We have to figure that out.
You're going to be hearing a lot from companies who are saying they can't find the workers. And
Right.
at some point, that is going to have to translate into higher wages, and we just haven't seen that yet. But anecdotally, when you talk about transportation, warehousing, trucking, engineering, technology, everyone, they say they're looking for workers.
Right.
So that's a really interesting part
And it
of what
raises
you're
the issue
They're
of
looking
who's
for
training
workers
the people to be the workers
because
right now.
they're looking for workers because they're not giving people full-time jobs anymore. They're
Yeah.
giving them part-time jobs so they stay just under the amount of hours they need to be them under, so they don't have to give them benefits.
Right.
So they don't have to do things like give them stock options later on. Amazon, the average job at Amazon is under 2 years because at the 2-year point they start getting stock options, and they don't want to keep people on that long, so they let them go. They dump them out. It's a revolving door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 100% right. When I worked at Walmart a few years ago, and it was really weird to me because you could not go over a certain amount of hours each week. Otherwise, you would be written up and potentially fired. And like, I would have to leave sometimes. Like, I worked in electronics and I'd be trying to stock everything, but they would say, no, you just have to leave whatever you haven't finished there and you need to clock out immediately. And everyone was just hypersensitive to their hours. And that was really weird to me coming from a job. I used to work at Blockbuster back in the day when I was on salary and whatnot. And it was clearly because if I went over, if I qualified as full time, well, then guess what happens? They're mandated to provide me with health insurance and all these extra benefits. So we're in a system where they're incentivized to basically fuck over their own workers, and it's infuriating.
Yeah. It's too late, Barry Compton. You can't make it up to me now. You insulted me. There's no making up.
Make them at home. Christine, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Let him love you, Pimp Monk.
Okay.
Let him love you.
He's allowed to love me. It's fine.
Girl, just let me love you. Fox and Friends.
In the streets saying death to America. I said, who signs a deal when they're marching saying death to America?
President Trump has deadline to decide the fate of the Iranian deal just days away, May 12th. Our next guest, who is meeting the vice president today on the very issue, warns it offers the fewest disadvantages and only Iran benefits by withdrawing. Here to explain, British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson. Mr. Secretary, make your case by staying.
What kind of hair is that? What is this hair?
He really wants to be the British Trump.
Yeah. So Trump's shitty hair just makes it okay for all like weird white dudes to have like the shittiest hair ever. I mean, don't even get me started on the hair on the left too. What the fuck is that? But look, it's like this weird like I don't know.
Who's the Ed Sheeran?
Has the worst hair?
This is Ed Sheeran's
I don't even
haircut.
know who has the worst hair on the screen here. I might say the guy on the left has the worst hair. What is that?
I think the guy. They both might have diabetes based off their tapered eyebrows. They're losing hair on the side of their eyebrows. They both need to get checked for diabetes. And if you're at home right now and you're losing hair on the side of your eyebrows,
diabetes.
Get checked for diabetes. You could seriously have the sugar. You don't want the sugar.
Sugar.
If you get the
Look
sugar,
at Boris
you could
Johnson
die.
here. He has one of his eyes like closed and whatnot. Like these people are so weird.
He looks like a molester in the Harry Potter universe.
He's got some problems with his sugar.
In this deal that you even told us is flawed.
It is. And of course, the president is right to see flaws in it. And he set a very reasonable challenge to the world was, look, Iran is behaving badly. Iran has a tendency to develop intercontinental ballistic missiles. We got to stop that. We got to push back on what Iran is doing in the region. We got to be tougher on Iran. And we got to fix the flaws in the deal. And one of the most important is that this sunset clause, which means that after 2025, the current deal allows Iran to go forward fast with enrichment programs, which could lead to a nuclear weapon. Now, and no sanctions go back on. We need to find a way of fixing that. And the president has been right to call attention to it. But you've got to do that without just throwing the baby out with the bathwater, without scrapping the whole thing. Because if you do that, you have to answer the question, what next? What if the Iranians do rush for a nuclear weapon? Are we seriously saying that we're going to bomb those facilities at Koms and Fordow and Natanz? Is that really a realistic possibility?
But Mr. Secretary,
This drives me nuts, this whole talk. First and foremost, I want to go back to what Trump said at the beginning, because he was talking about how, they talk about, death to America and whatnot. And first and foremost, yes, that's definitely problematic, but understand that when they say death to America, they're trying to gin up support among the population. But even if you want to accept that that's crazy talk, because it absolutely is, right? I'm not denying that. Lindsey Graham was on Fox News or some show a few days ago talking about how we should consider bombing Iranians and killing all of them. He said something along those lines that was pretty much advocating for genocide.
That's different.
I know it's different because it's us.
Yeah, Iran's not America.
Yeah. And so I don't understand how, we definitely condemn people who say really harmful things about America, death to America. But when we say it, when our leaders say it, when they openly advocate for genocide, no problem whatsoever. We don't see the double standard. And the thing about this Iran deal, I'm glad that Johnson is trying to encourage Trump to stay in it and doesn't want him to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But the whole this premise that Iran wants a nuclear weapon is absurd, because if they get a nuke, then that's basically an invitation for the United States to invade them. So it's just nonsense to think that they would even want that, knowing what the United States would feel empowered that they would be able to do. And to Republicans who talk about how, oh, this deal ensures that they're going to get a nuke. What the deal ensures is that the International Atomic Energy Agency gets to go in there and inspect their nuclear weapons facilities to make sure that they're in compliance. And they are in compliance. So all this is warmongering, and it drives me absolutely nuts that people in mainstream media, people on Fox News, like they don't call this out.
They're part of the machine.
Yeah, Fox News is they're benefiting off of this.
Yeah.
This warmongering top dollar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Right.
NBC does as well. I mean, think about who advertises on the so-called liberal network, MSNBC, defense contractors. They advertise, so why would
They're
they?
just as bad. I mean, like back when we had Jimmy Dore on the last episode, we talked about all the people that got fired from MSNBC because they were anti-Iraq war.
Yeah.
Phil Donahue and Jesse Ventura. Those were the top two shows on MSNBC at the time.
You have a very specific how do I want to say it? There's like boundaries. Like they control what you can and can't talk about. There's a line of respectability, and you can't cross that. I don't know if you guys heard about Ed Schultz, who recently talked about how he's on RT now. And he
was on Air America too, back in the early days of liberal talk radio.
Right.
He was one of those Air America people. So he's been around in that sphere of influence for a while.
Right. And he along with Cenk Uygur of TYT, once they left MSNBC, they talked about Ed Schultz in particular, about how when he was going to cover Bernie Sanders' campaign back in 2016 when he launched, basically the president of MSNBC called him and told him, no, you're not going to cover this. I mean, he called him 5 minutes before his show aired and said, no, you will not cover this. So they control what we see, because you can't say anything that's offensive to MSNBC's corporate advertisers, and that includes defense contractors. That includes, internet service providers, for example. I mean, there's a reason why the liberal network didn't even mention net neutrality more than, I'd say, 10 times. I tried to look for every segment I could find back in December when the FCC repealed net neutrality, and anything that I could find was nothing more than propaganda. So, I mean, that's why you just see basically state media on these cable news shows, because their advertisers are the same multinational corporations that contribute to politicians' political campaigns. So it's so frustrating that, the media, it's supposed to be this fourth branch of government, so to speak, and act as a check on government tyranny, when all they do is enable the government. It's so irritating that, getting back to the Iran deal, that they're not just going over the facts of the Iran deal, that it stops them from getting a bomb, a nuclear weapon. It drives me nuts. It really does. So sorry for the rant there.
No. Yeah.
And push back on Iran together.
Well, listen, Chairman of Armed Services kind of agrees with you. He doesn't like the deal, but he says what replaces it. Now, are you proposing you take 60 days and say, Mr. President, hold on, the European leaders will come together with some of your concerns and put an overlay on this? Because the problem with that is Iran does not want to do anything. Iran says, I'm sticking with this deal. I'm not even talking about a new deal.
Well, that's right, and that is the problem. So what you've got to do is you've got to recognize that the heart of the old deal, of the existing deal, is that it gives Iran some reason to hope that they will have economic benefits in the long run. Actually, they haven't had much in the last few years. In return for which they don't equip themselves with a nuclear weapon. Let me just remind you, if they do get a nuclear weapon, you're going to get an arms race in the Middle East. You're going to have the Saudis wanting one, the Egyptians, the Emiratis. It's already a very, very dangerous state at the moment. We don't want to go down.
Don't the Saudis have our nukes, though?
No, I know.
We're pretty much in the Saudi pocket, right?
Not to that degree. They don't get to tell us where to launch our nukes now.
But we probably would. If they were like,
no.
Hey, Trump. Hey, Trump.
We they
Shoot
bitch.
one over there.
You know what? It's already bad enough that we're the only nation to launch nukes ever. We would be extremely careful before ever launching them again.
You would hope.
I know that. I know that. I know that the U.S. being the only nation to ever launch nukes, we are under the most scrutiny out of any other country.
I'm just waiting till Trump gets that message that he's actually getting impeached, and he just does a little fucking Salt Bay and hits the fucking nuke button, like, splashes it. Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I think we are under scrutiny, but the problem is even if we're under scrutiny, U.S. hegemony has made it so that way. I mean, even if all the countries collectively come together and denounce us, what are they going to do? We have the largest military in the history of mankind. There's nothing that they can do, which is why we pretty much throw our dicks around everywhere. I mean, we're invading multiple countries, and we're in Yemen, Pakistan, Somalia, Niger, doing drone strikes. So I feel like even if a lot of people around the world may criticize the United States, it falls on deaf ears because our leaders don't care. You know, they have no reason to. I mean, we're like the sole vote on the UN Security Council that's holding up any sort of denunciation of what the Israeli government is doing. They killed a bunch of Palestinian protesters who were peaceful. And we're trying to, on the UN Security Council, denounce that. Just simply say this was bad. And Nikki Haley is the sole vote saying, no, we're not even going to say that that's bad, even though objectively speaking, killing peaceful protesters is something that should be condemned because we claim to care about democracy. So isn't protesting peacefully, what's important? Isn't that the hallmark of democracy? But we can't even get that. So I mean, we swing our dick around internationally, and there's never any repercussions for our actions because we're just too powerful.
Here's oh shit. Ben as certain that America won't drop nukes on Saudi's behalf as he is that Hillary would beat Trump, you know?
You were sure Hillary would beat Trump, right?
I wasn't sure like 100%, but I was confident.
Yes. I was confident. I didn't think there was a chance.
No,
I was blown away when Trump won.
Most people were blown away.
Yeah, I was blown away. I thought that Hillary would win. I thought that there was a chance that Trump could win, but I thought that Hillary would probably pull it out.
I didn't think there was a chance. When Hillary lost to Trump, it was the first time that I'd been wrong in like 10 years. I was fucking blown away.
A lot of us were wrong.
I'd never been wrong before.
I even met people in Mississippi said they wouldn't vote for Trump. When that happened, I was like, okay, he may lose.
Yeah.
But then he won. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, the one thing, there's a couple of things that worried me. One of them was that Hillary Clinton, I felt like the Democratic Party base was so demoralized, not just with her winning, but basically the way she won. I mean, she cheated. She rigged the primary against Bernie Sanders. There's a multitude of, evidence to prove that. So that I thought was one reason why, voters would be demoralized. And really, if Democratic voters stay home, that's always when Republicans win. But I still thought that Donald Trump, he was such an egregious character that would maybe influence people to come out. But I mean, we certainly learned during this election that people don't vote against something. They vote for something. And there are a lot of people on the Republican side that loved what Donald Trump had to say. And also, just the simple fact that we had a Democratic president for 2 terms. So we see this turnover, 8 years Republican, 8 years Democrat. And that, we got a Republican again because people were sick of Democrats. Because, Obama didn't do very much to change people's lives, for the better.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to have 8 years of Republican this time, though.
I can see that. Yeah. I kind of agree with you there.
It's going to be a Jimmy Carter year.
A lot of people didn't think Bush would get reelected.
That's true.
Come through.
That is true.
You know what? Though? I'm split still. I kind of agree with you that there's a good chance that Trump loses, but at the same time, you can't underestimate just how incompetent Democrats are. They could
especially if we go to war too. If
John
we go
Kerry,
to war, that's what won Bush his reelection. The war. That was it.
And another thing is, I honestly, when it was happening, I didn't think it was clever. But Trump was a very clever campaigner.
Yeah.
He really was. At the time when it was happening, I was like, well, this sucks. But apparently, he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he knows how to market himself exceptionally well. Like, nobody can market themselves better than Donald Trump. And I felt like you know, when you saw Hillary Clinton speak, everything that she said was scripted. There was nothing that was organic that came out of her mouth. But with Donald Trump, he was just shooting off the hip, and people were just sick and tired of bullshit politicians, like the focus group driven, where they sit there and they speak with a certain politician cadence, and they have their thumb like this, and like, I'm for the working class. Like it's just bullshit. And Donald Trump clearly was just an average asshole, and there was this anti-establishment fervor in the country, and he knew about that, and he capitalized on it. When Hillary, she had no fucking idea, what to do to win over her own base, let alone, I guess you could say like centrist voters that she was trying to win over, and more moderate Republicans that she wanted to win over.
She won my vote when she referenced Pokemon Go in a speech.
The Russian President Vladimir Putin began his 4th term as president today. Thousands of people packed into the Kremlin to watch Putin take the oath of office. The ceremony also ran on state television. In his speech, Putin focused on domestic issues. He promised to pursue policies that would improve the economy and boost living standards. The Russian economy, of course, has taken a hit in recent years, due in part to international sanctions against Putin's government. Putin won re-election in March with 77% of the vote.
I don't get why they come up with these percentages that are just so ridiculous. The last time when he won, I think it was by like 52%. That's more reasonable, to where he wasn't just like brazenly rigging it, but now he's getting up to like 70%. It's like, okay, people know you're bullshitting. What was it? The last North Korean election, Kim Jong-un won by like 99.8% or something like that. It's like, what are you thinking by coming up with this percentage? Like, I don't know.
They even have elections in North Korea?
They have elections pretty much everywhere. No matter how idiotic and obvious a sham it is, they have elections in every single country. Saudi Arabia, everywhere.
99.8%?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. It might have been like 98%, but it was pretty much universal approval.
Why didn't they just go ahead and say 100?
At that point, you might as well.
If they said 100, then the person who voted against him would be like, it's rigged. But now if someone votes against him, they'd be like, fuck, that's all. Those are the only one of us that want to change? I can't believe that. I got to go back to eating my dirt now.
Yeah, that's so true. No, and you know what's interesting is that even though these elections in like these authoritarian regimes are obvious shams, still it has this intended benefit for the regime. Like it helps them cultivate legitimacy, because people in every single country, everywhere, they care about procedure. So if like leaders are following procedure, then they respect them. They see them as legitimate leaders, even if it's complete fucking bullshit. I mean, nobody believes that Vladimir Putin won with 70%, but the fact that he went through the motions, I guess that means a lot to them. So it's weird. I don't get how that's something that works, and it certainly doesn't work on everyone, but every dictator does it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
77% to Grand Chancellor Putin. Thank you.
He also created this other position. I don't know now if they've changed it, but he did have term limits for a little while, and during that time they had Medvedev.
Yeah.
You remember that? And he became Chancellor Putin or Prime Minister or something like that.
Darth Putin.
It was so funny when that happened. He allowed Medvedev to be like the president, because clearly, I mean, Medvedev was just a puppet and Putin was still calling all the shots. So he probably figured, fuck it, everybody knows I'm a dictator anyway. I'm just gonna stay president. We'll just change the constitution. Yeah, that was funny to me. But I was surprised that like back then when I was watching, when the end of his second term was up, I actually didn't think that he would step down and let Medvedev. I mean, even though it was basically just symbolic, I still thought there'd be some bullshit last minute ploy to just be like, oh well, we decided to change the constitution, so I'm back. So it's funny. I love watching these things play out in authoritarian regimes, just because it's so great. It's all a facade.
It's weird when China has an election. I had a friend in China. I was like, "You think a woman would ever be president of China?" And they were like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You ever think someone who's not like genetically Chinese but born in China could be president?" And they were like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No fucking way ever will it happen."
You don't think I could go to China and become president?
No. I mean, not even like... I'm talking someone who is of your genetic origin but was born in China could never be president.
I think I could do it.
And well, they don't even allow someone from another party in China to be president.
What's the party?
The Communist Party of China.
So they're a one-party platform?
Yeah, they're a single-party state.
Huh.
So you have to like kiss ass and rise the ranks within your own party, and then when the people of China vote on their president, they vote within the Communist Party of China. That's why China got rid of YouTube. I don't know if they still can't use YouTube, but they got rid of YouTube. They got rid of Facebook. They got rid of a lot of these social media platforms in China because a lot of the people were trying to create like rival parties.
What if I created a rival party? You don't think I could go win?
It's illegal.
In China?
You go to jail.
Not if I win.
No.
Well, in a lot of these countries, they don't even allow opposition parties to exist at all.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's just like one party and that's it.
Because there's a party that already exists that I think would do very well in China.
No, it's not allowed.
The Tea Party. Everybody in China
Everyone
loves
tea.
tea.
Yeah,
they
there's
love
a lot of tea in China.
I'm running on the Tea Party.
Tea party.
Well, and there's actually multiple parties in Russia as well. Like Russia has, I think, like 6 like pretty big parties, but they have zero power whatsoever, like zero authority. And, like the whole Duma is just the rubber stamp for Putin. But when you go to like other countries like Morocco, like King Mohammed VI is like this reformer. A lot of people look at him that way because he did allow relatively free elections, you know, for their legislature. So you can have different parties that run, although they do have guidelines for it. But I mean, when you get elected, you have no power in the legislature. So even if they're winning fairly, for the most part, it still doesn't matter. You know, it's just ritualistic at the end of the day to help them appear as though they're trying to be fair. So it's interesting. Authoritarian regimes are very interesting to me.
That shit still gets me, man.
It's not funny, motherfucker.
My butthole puckered up a little bit that time.
Oh shit, this is rap. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna do it anyway.
The scat rap?
Look, this one's fresher. You're right. Well, maybe we'll find some really.
Oh no.
They mean scat, like I thought it meant like scatting, as in like
That's what I was thinking too.
They mean poo poo.
No, I mean they mean poop.
They mean poo poo.
Catman says this about that. There ain't nothing better.
What is going on here? What is this? What is this? Really, Billy, can you handle this?
This might be worse than Jesus Christ is my neighbor.
And looking at scat, scat from the fox, scat from the cat.
Oh my God!
Nothing better than
he's not even going with the beat. Like
there is no beat. This guy doesn't exist
children
in a
go,
world
yeah,
where beats
you
exist.
looking at that? Ain't
But he's
nothing
got
better
blame.
than looking at scat, looking for bone,
This guy
looking for hair,
literally just likes looking
for
at
evidence.
shit.
I know it's in there.
If we look at it, what do we see in it?
Now, I've seen insect and I've seen snake, a little bit of cherry, for goodness sake. A little bit of this.
You're dying. I can tell Billy's dying on the inside.
He's talking about shit.
And that's not even the worst thing about this.
The tempo is twice as fast as the rhythm he's like rapping to.
I like how he just thinks he can write down like a couple sentences that rhyme and somehow it's gonna work.
Most people who try and rap think that's how it works.
A little bit of that ain't nothing better than looking at scat.
Ain't nothing better than looking at scat, Billy.
Now,
guy needs
if
to eat
you're
some
wondering
scat.
why I'm like that,
Look at how this motherfucker's dressed.
If you're wondering why I'm like that.
Look at his gold chains.
What's sad is when he looks at rappers, this is what he sees.
Yeah.
always bending over and picking up scat, just don't you worry, don't you fret. It's a part of nature they'll never forget.
That is probably an
Oh,
outcome.
eat it. Eat
One
it.
applause.
Eat it, you sick
Scotsman
witch.
says enough about that. No, that's not it. It's time to end this rap about scat.
Why did
It's
she have
gotten too
gloves
much
on?
and has to stop.
He doesn't
I
have
don't
any on
know.
either. What
I
are you?
don't know. It's taken my life over the top. I'm done bending over and picking up scat, making kids cringe saying things like that.
I would be sad if somebody shoved
He
us
called
on.
Yeah,
it.
there he goes.
Fuck you for calling it, you old son of a bitch.
At least
you
he's
choke on a
self-aware. He
fucking
knows
turd
that he's
and
making
die.
people cringe.
He's not self-aware. He thinks the cringe is from touching poop. He doesn't realize it's from his shitty
no
fucking
shit, yeah.
rap.
Gone is the bone and gone is the hair. Gone is the evidence I know is in there.
Eat the poop, you old fart.
Eat the poop, you old fart.
Eat it.
Whoa! Did you see that? The wood rat's whisker sticking out like that? There's a tooth.
Rhyming that with
There's
that.
a
Thank
jaw.
you, Grandpa
That's
Dad.
the coolest scat I ever saw.
Well,
I
okay,
guess
that's
I
shit.
can't stop doing that, bending over and looking at scat. Just too much to learn, too much to
Bear
see,
Johnson,
too
still
much
better than
fun
Pinwheel.
being an EV.
Damn, he's throwing it up, dude.
Fire.
Can you step to that?
I would eat a fucking poop in front of him rather than let him rap this any longer.
All right.
I'd walk up and I'd shove a turd right in my mouth and chew it
Wait a
in
minute,
front of him.
was that worse than Cheesecake Factory Girl?
Possibly.
Yes.
I don't know, because
what is this?
Cheesecake
Am I on
Factory Girl
drugs?
was stumbling over her words. Is this more cringe raps?
Yeah, I guess so. They got mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's okay.
Yeah.
Man, we understand you got your birthday drunk going on.
You gonna go to Bumbershoot
Hell yeah, dude.
with
No, probably,
Lil Wayne this year?
Probably not. I
You
went to
me-
Bumper Shoot a couple years
You
ago.
and me gonna party with Lil Wayne in the VIP?
Should we touch dicks in the VIP?
Yeah. He's got a Beetlejuice shirt on.
Look at his fucking pants. They're bedazzled skinny
Let me
jeans.
film this in my mom's house. In my mom's house. In my mom's house. Yeah. Let me film it in my mom's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
I'm sitting by the
film
luggage.
it in
I'm sitting by the
mom's
luggage.
house.
I ain't
In my
traveling
mom's
nowhere.
house.
But I
In
got
my
some
mom's
luggage.
house.
Yeah. She cut a record, man. That was amazing, man.
Ill.
You might as well just.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
My mom's house. Stick my dick up in your mom's mouth.
I found another guy for it. That was
In
sad.
my mom's house.
Beetlejuice, sing 'em. Now we in the room. Beetlejuice, say it.
What the fuck
I'm gonna
is he?
hang
Is he killing
myself in the
himself?
ceiling. I hung myself in my mom's house.
What is going on? It's like 3D.
He's a
view.
cool skater boy with nativity scene
What is
action.
this?
He
Yeah,
broke
I'm
his
confused by
nativity
that.
scene. He's gangster.
This is all about suicide, though.
In my mom's house.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Is this G-Man?
Yes.
Where's the hat?
What are you trying to say?
Where's the hat?
Doesn't it look like G-Man?
It does look like
are you
G-Man,
trying
but
to
where's the
say-
hat?
Are you trying to say they all look alike, Billy?
I'm saying, where's the hat, G-Man?
Damn it,
Where's
Billy.
this fucking cool puffy paint hat? This is like Lord Jesus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching.
Ah, he does it every time. G-Man never says, "Welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries." He always says, "Welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries." Every time.
It's called branding, Benjamin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries. And today, I want to talk about something very interesting.
Gary!
And it has to do with a statement that is constantly being made on my YouTube channel by other by my enemies here online, whether they be in the faith or out the faith. There are people making this statement in my comment sections that I've been noticing on all of my channels sometimes. They'll come out and say something along the lines of, is that, G-Man, you're an embarrassment to Christianity.
You are, because there's so many Christians in the world that just believe their Christian shit. They go about their day. They judge people how they do, but they stay quiet about it. Because they actually subscribe to real Christianity.
Shout out to Weird Al.
Where you don't shame other people, you don't judge other people, you keep it to yourself. And yeah, you are an embarrassment to Christianity. You're an embarrassment to humanity.
Damn, man, that's romantic.
You're almost embarrassing as a huge manatee.
You know, when I first heard about that, I was like, okay, these guys don't even know what the Bible says. Why should I take them seriously, right? Say, Jimmy, you're an embarrassment to Christianity. You should delete your YouTube channel. You should get off of here because you're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing the faith. You're embarrassing to Christianity. I'm not on work right now. I'm out of work right now. So I would like.
He's wearing a WWE shirt. I just noticed that.
To do
See?
Is that
it's like WrestleMania? Yeah.
A video response to this statement and to show people on an intellectual level why that is an insanely stupid statement to make to me in the live chat. You know what I mean? Or the comment section, or to somehow try to refute me on here to say that I'm an embarrassing and whatnot, right? And because some people are saying this in their videos, some people are saying this, because they're angry at me and whatnot. You know what I mean? But I'd like to ask a couple of questions here. And I'm going to give this question to everybody who's ever made this statement about me being an embarrassment to Christianity. So if you said it, these questions are directed towards you. If you feel this way and you're too scared to say something about it, these questions are directed towards you. Question number one. Since I'm an embarrassment to Christianity, who am I embarrassing?
Christians.
That's the first question.
The Lord,
everyone,
the Lord that you
Everyone.
praise, the fictitious fucking Lord that you live under. You're embarrassing him based on his own principles, the own principles in that fucking book, my dude.
I think Humanistreport is a huge fan of G-Man.
Uh-oh.
I don't know who he is. I'm trying to get the context. So he is like a judgmental Christian, though? Is that what it is? One of those?
I'll tell you what, he wins no matter what.
Yeah, nobody's ever beat him in a debate, even though everybody beats him in debates.
G-Man wins. He believes there's no starving Christians on this planet.
No starving Christian children, yeah.
Oh, man.
So if you're starving in Africa, it's not because of any other reason. It's because like you're not a real Christian. That's why God allows you to starve, basically.
Yeah.
But if he believes that, isn't that a shitty God to worship? That, your God is so petty. Well, your God is telling people to go fuck themselves if they don't believe in him. Like, why would you even want to believe in that type of a God?
Why can't I get G-Man on the show right now? Oh.
Because he would kick this poor guy's ass in a debate.
G-Man never loses, dude.
He's
undefeated. So
He's like
if you want to
judo
challenge him
debater.
to a debate, let me see really quick. I'll be like, G-Man, this guy wants to debate you.
Hey, all I gotta say is read your Bible and do what it say. That's one of his famous things.
Am I embarrassing? Well, G-Man, now, guys, because the enemies of the faith aren't really watching right now. They're probably watching some cartoon or something like that right now. I'm going to.
Oh, we're watching.
Assume I can get the answers from
The
them, 'cause
enemies
there's
are
only but so
watching
many
now,
answers they can
G-Man.
give you. But since I am an embarrassment to Christianity, I have to.
By the way, G-Man's recent campaign is don't get chemo if you have cancer.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yep.
What was the vitamin B17 or something?
Yeah, take vitamin B17 instead,
which isn't a real vitamin,
well,
by the way.
It is found in arsenic.
Yeah, sure. We've had nurses on the show that have said that's not a real vitamin. So
Be embarrassing other Christians here on the internet. The problem is, other Christians on YouTube are not necessarily the object. Are not the object of our faith. So if I'm embarrassing other Christians, why would I be embarrassing other Christians?
Because you're a dumbass.
Well, the reason why I'm embarrassing other Christians, from what I can gather from my comment sections, and I'm thinking about this logically, ladies and gentlemen, okay, is that my raps are bad.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Ding! Point number
Wait, he's
one.
a rapper too? This is
Oh,
getting
no,
like-
God.
He's not,
No,
but
he's
he,
not.
but he
All
does rap.
all right. I can rap better than G-Man.
True.
All
This is
right.
getting good.
A white dude from Ohio can rap better than a black dude from New York.
Has nothing
There
to
you
do with
go.
him being black.
I mean,
It has everything to do with him being completely fucking spurged out, culturally unaware of anything around him.
My
He was,
arguments.
the best thing about G-Man to me was that he was born into what, the Nation of Islam? Or
yeah, he didn't even know the name of Master Fard Muhammad, who was like basically the Jesus of the Nation of Islam, like Muhammad Ali and Louis Farrakhan and
He
all
was
those
born
guys.
into that religion.
Yes,
I
And
did
he's-
not know that, to be honest with you. I did not know that.
He
But you weren't
somehow
born into it, so
he somehow escaped that dogma, that doctrine,
there were
and then
two-
joined up with crazy ass Christianity.
there are two major figures in the Nation of Islam. There's well, the Nation of Islam is it's an offshoot of the original religion, which is like black Muslims. And like originally there was Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad is the guy who created the church, but Master Fard Muhammad was like the Jesus of the church.
Now, I didn't know G-Man was born into that. That's what I was
Yep.
saying. I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't know
okay.
that.
Yep.
Bad. No one takes me seriously.
Nope.
And no one's coming to Christ. And those are the reasons that they would give.
Has G-Man brought anybody to Christ? Has he? With all this ranting, with all these videos that get like
I first
minimal
met
views.
G-Man because he was one of Brett Keen's cronies. So there you go. Poor G-Man. You know, G-Man's a nicer guy. Like, I would trust G-Man more than Brett Keen. I think
absolutely.
I think he's legitimately a nicer guy. Like, I won't judge G-Man too much. Like, I think G-Man is legitimately like a guy who wants to like be a good person and do the right thing. But
Yeah, and if you have a conversation with G-Man about something other than religion,
he's a good guy.
absolutely cool.
Yeah, he's all right.
But boy, is he a shitty rapper.
For me being an embarrassment to Christianity. So I thought about this and I was like, let me think about this a minute. My raps are bad. My arguments are bad. I'm not winning nobody to Christ. And it doesn't take a long time to think about this stuff when you actually use your brain. And I'm thinking about this. And I'm like, wait a minute. People are coming to Christ. I know that for a fact, what they told me.
Are they?
My raps
There
aren't
you
bad
go.
because people find them very entertaining.
Who?
No, they don't.
Who?
He does. G-Man
Who
does.
finds them entertaining? But
Let me just try to add G-Man to this call and we'll see if he answers.
Answer.
I love
Answer
G-Man. I want him. He never loses.
My raps aren't bad because many people find them entertaining.
Oh, he's not answering.
He's pissed.
Answer you.
He knows we're talking shit. He knows. God told him.
And I mean very, 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 very entertaining. You can look at the numbers of my raps, and you can look at the numbers of the raps that actually are good, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The people in our community. Just saying.
I see. Just saying. Just saying.
Whether they're laughing at me or whether or not they're supporting me. The fact of the matter is, they watch more than one time. Some of them know the lyrics by heart. So I got to disagree with all the other stuff. So if I'm an embarrassment to Christians, wouldn't it be more logical for me to think that since I'm an embarrassment to Christianity, that I'm an embarrassment to Jesus Christ? I mean, he's the object of our faith.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
What Billy said earlier. You called it, Billy.
And I know that there's only certain people in the live chat that are going to be smart enough to understand what's going on right now. And there's some people that's going to have to wait until the end of the video to get where I'm going with all of this. So just be patient here, okay? Maybe the trolls
wind
will
is
leave.
amazing.
So anyway, when I say the trolls, I'm talking about the people who don't know nothing about our faith or whatever. So let's try this again. So I have to be an embarrassment to Jesus Christ. But how would I embarrass Jesus? Jesus said he didn't come for the righteous. but he came for the sex.
Oh, okay. So how could I embarrass Jesus? Because he can't be embarrassed. So no matter how fucking cringy and pathetic I am, I just can't embarrass Jesus.
Jesus is a better rapper than G-Man.
Damn.
Jesus is pretty gangster.
What came for sinners? And he's the author and the finisher of our faith, meaning he's the one that's bringing us to perfection. So what would I have to do to embarrass him?
Everything.
And I
Act
began
like
to think
you know.
even more on
Act
this.
like you know better than everybody else just because you believe you do.
Would you consider? Okay. Consider this: Jesus Christ is the object of our faith. He's the rock and foundation
Stop embarrassing
of our
Jesus,
faith, the rock and
G-Man.
foundation of our Christianity. Let me explain something to you guys of what happened to
Jesus
Jesus.
up there right
okay?
now, god damn, there he
Jesus
goes.
was blindfolded and was punched in the face and was told to prophesy who would hit him next. Jesus was given an illegal trial because people didn't like what he was saying.
That's right, G-Man.
Jesus was flogged.
Your
All right.
words are punching a blind
So,
Jesus in the face. you
Humanist
dipshit.
Report. So you've gotten your fill of G-Man, I'm sure. Like, so
I'm taking notes right now.
G-Man came on our show. We were like, hey, if God exists, why does he let starving children? G-Man's proof of God is this prayer journal where he prays for things and God answers his prayer. So we were like, and he was like, oh, one time, like, I was about to get kicked out of my apartment and I found some money. I prayed for money and God gave me money. And we were like, okay, so why did God give you that $50 or whatever, but not give that same $50 to like starving children in Africa where they could eat for like, 6 months off of $50?
Right.
And he was like, show me a child, show me it's real, show me. And then later on he was like, I didn't deny that starving children exist. I just denied that starving Christian children existed. So then our friend Cy10 Atheist made this beautiful video game. And by the way, if you're very progressive, yeah, this might be a little too far. Oh shit. Yeah, so first G-Man called the Atheist Experience.
Time for a walk. G-Man versus Drunken Peasants. Round one, fight.
The next part is the worst, dude. The next part is the worst.
Read your Bible. Do what it says. Reading Exodus 21.
Oh, here it is. Oh god, this is so bad.
So he's whipping.
You're the maintenance. Oh, it's also because G-Man said slavery is okay.
Yeah, he did say slavery
in the
was
Bible.
There's context to this.
How do you even come to that conclusion in your mind? What the fuck?
It's
G-Man. When you're black.
At least Kanye's a good rapper.
I know.
Oh my god.
Fatality.
Fatality.
Unspecified penalty.
Yeah, G-Man always wins, by the way. Yep.
Yeah.
G-Man wins! Because when G-Man would have a debate, he always wins in the end.
Yeah.
We had him on here a few times with like Thunderfoot and like a variety of people. He always wins.
I watched him go debate against Meridian Frost with her, and Meridian Frost just, tortured the poor dude.
So
and then,
I don't know what you're talking about. G-Man versus Starving Christian.
That's sad. That is so sad.
The music is "We Are the World."
Finish him.
No, starving Christian. G-Man wins.
And all of this exists because of the stupid shit G-Man said.
Okay, I need to look into this more because I need to get more context. But because you were talking about how when he was debating, he said that God answers his prayers based on his prayer book. But this is my question for, like, if I ever talk to G-Man. So why is it that when you pray and you ask for things, it's only within the realm of possibility? Why can't you pray for Jesus to make you fly? Because if he's omnipotent and he has all these powers, anything is possible. That's not my argument.
All right, Lamont in Irvington, New Jersey. Thanks for waiting.
Yes, hi, Matt. This is
What's wrong?
I don't believe that there's anything wrong with
that woman were you?
How I went about confronting you about my differences with the slavery issue.
Well, there's a bunch of things that we could say. I found it interesting because somebody sent me a clip that you said you were going to call in this week, and the thing that struck me, and this is the point at which I stopped listening to you in that particular clip, was that you said you were willing to call in to talk to Jeff or Matt or that woman. First of all, Jeff's not on the show; he does nonprofits. But which that woman were you, dismissing with that kind of, oh, it's that woman?
That young lady sitting next to you that I can't remember her name. I know her last name. I think her last name is Peoples, I think.
Cool.
That's Jen. That's not me.
Yeah, that's Jen. That's not the person sitting next to me. There are
Two that women's.
There are two that women's in the regular. Okay, so you're willing to be my property?
Yes, I am, as long as you have me do good and not evil.
Well,
So here's him defending slavery.
I'm going to have you come and, first of all, pick all the weeds out of my yard. Is that fine?
As long as I'm compensated afterward, no problem.
Oh,
so that's where the part of the like fake video game comes from, where he's like pulling the weeds out of the yard and Matt Dillon's whipping him.
Okay. Why does he think slavery had compensation involved? What is he talking about?
He says that we're all slaves
compensated.
because we work at a job.
What's compensated? That's not slavery. I don't have to pay my property. I don't have to pay property. That's not slavery.
Yeah, you would be kind of like a chair to him.
I mean, I'd give you enough food to keep you alive, but and I'd give you like a doghouse in the backyard.
You also have to.
So what you're saying is because you own
maintenance
me
onto a good chair.
and you tell me you do something and you don't pay me, that's not slavery?
No, that is slavery.
That's what we're saying. If you're property, that's slavery. One person owning another person is slavery.
Yeah, right. And we're all slaves to something.
No. You don't get to go to metaphoric slavery. Nobody owns me as property. I've heard you say that NBA players, despite their ridiculous salaries, are slaves to the team owners, and that's just false. I mean, that's like stupidly false.
Well, there's a book out called High Price Slaves, and the author of that book disagrees with you.
Yeah, the author of that book is probably speaking in metaphor. But what I'm talking about is slavery like slavery that's sanctioned in the Bible.
Like the state saying you're property.
Okay, so let's talk about that then. You obviously have a problem with indentured service.
No. No, I do have a problem with indentured servitude, but I'm talking about slavery in the Bible. Would you be willing to be my slave according to what the Bible says?
Oh, yes, of course.
What?
Yeah, isn't he great?
Oh, yes,
Is he only defending slavery because he doesn't know how to, like, justify what the Bible says about it? Like,
Exactly.
Okay, because I don't understand how you come to that conclusion. Unless it's because you have cognitive dissonance about what's in the Bible. That's wow.
Exactly. He's so desperate to agree with everything the Bible says that he's willing to be a slave because of it.
So if you're my slave, I can beat you then, right?
Yes, you can if I break a Mosaic law.
No. It doesn't say that. It just says I can beat. It says I can beat you as long as you don't die within a day or two.
It does say that, but according to the Mosaic law, you can't just smite somebody. In the very same chapter of that book, it talks about how you can't smite your servant until they die.
No. It doesn't. See, here's the thing. You don't understand your own Bible, and that's why it's so funny that you keep telling to read your Bible and do what it says. Because the verses that you cite earlier in Exodus 21 are talking about laws against other people, other Hebrews, other people who are not slaves. There's separate laws for the people who are slaves. It's very clear. It's like you stopped reading at the very verse that explains this to you. So it says, if I strike a man and kill him, I'm to be punished.
But we don't have enough time on your show for me to ask you to show me the verses for this. But I
do. I have a Bible right here.
We've got a Bible.
Do you not have a Bible? Do you not have a Bible handy?
We can look at the.
See, like, Matt Dillahunty is like a Bible expert, you know. So
yeah, he knows his shit.
He's an atheist, right?
Yeah, but he was a Baptist minister at one point. Yeah,
no kidding. Oh
yes. Man. Yeah, that's why he's so well educated on all of this. And actually, he said that he became an atheist when he, as a minister, started his mission to convince people that God was real, and then realized he couldn't. And that's where, yeah, that's where Matt Dillahunty came from.
Hang on, do you not have a Bible handy?
I don't have one in front of me, but I can say this. So if you
why on earth don't you have a Bible with you?
Man, you know, one of the things that you got on my case about is you not being professional. And right now, you're not acting professional right now.
No, hang on. I don't have to let you finish to be professional because. So I did a 35-minute video in response to your position. Have you watched it?
Yes, I did, and I responded to most of it.
No, actually, since I stopped watching your channel, what I saw as a response wasn't a response to most of it because I read the Bible and I explained it. So, like Exodus,
and you were wrong in every point that you made. You
I was
presuppositions. You didn't give accurate biblical interpretations for what you were reading. You was explaining it according to how you understood it, and no one was there to challenge you on what you were saying. So, of course, you're going to.
These are laws. These are codified laws. They're not interpretive.
This isn't just my understanding of it. For example, in 1861, there's a Rabbi Raphael, who justified human slavery from the Bible by saying, and I quote, "Under the same protection as any other species of lawful property, that the Ten Commandments are the Word of God, and as such, of the very highest authority, is acknowledged by Christians as well as Jews. How dare you," he's saying to the people who are opposed to slavery, "how dare you, in the face of the sanction and protection afforded to slave property in the Ten Commandments, how dare you denounce slaveholding as a sin? When you remember that Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Job, the men with whom the Almighty conversed, with whose names are emphatically connects his own most holy name and character of perfect upright, featuring God and eschewing evil, that all these men were slaveholders, does it not strike you that you are guilty of something very little short of blasphemy?"
Well, I'm not really sure what kind of slavery he's talking about. He's talking about the transatlantic slave trade.
No.
So now he starts
my gosh.
Yeah, he starts doing what kind of slavery?
Moving the goalposts.
Yeah, constantly.
Oh, no.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just going by a quote that you're saying right now.
So the transatlantic slave trade is not relevant to this discussion, except that for some reason you object to that.
The transatlantic slave trade is an abomination.
Okay.
And I don't support it, and I don't want nothing to do with that.
Sure.
However,
so when the Bible,
owning another human being in of itself.
Gary, so when the Bible tells you to go to war with people, and that when you're done, the people that you've gone to war with become your slaves, and that you can own them, they are your property, which you can pass on to your children, and that you can beat them as long as they don't die within a day or two. You're fine with all that, but you object to the transatlantic slave trade.
Well, again, if you actually study the scriptures and look at what God condones and what He doesn't condone,
I have.
you find out that the Hebrews are always subjective to the Mosaic law.
Hebrews are, you moron! Gary, Hebrews are. Other people aren't. Did you not see where I read the verse that says you'll buy your slaves from the heathen who surround you? That there are different rules. Hang on.
I'm also aware you're not reading everything either. You're cherry picking right now.
No, I'm not cherry picking.
All right. You see, when someone is like ultra intelligent that has to deal with G-Man, they just can't even handle it eventually.
I feel like he's like trying to have a conversation with a kid or something.
Exactly. And G-Man and Matt are probably close to the same age. G-Man's probably like 41, 42 years old. So
that's crazy. In the course of that video, I read pretty much every verse that the Bible has about slavery in context. There are different rules for Hebrew slaves than there are for non-Hebrew slaves. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I would like to publicly apologize for you because you didn't even.
Oh wow!
I would like to publicly apologize.
Yeah,
for
I'd like
you.
to publicly apologize for you.
Wow.
Slavery. So you're making a mistake right now. No, you didn't do that.
Okay, so thanks for that bald assertion from the person who doesn't have the Bible in front of them. I asked a question. Are you aware?
I'm quite aware of this topic, and I know you didn't even.
You're not aware of this. Okay, so let me ask: are you aware that there's a difference between Hebrews?
It's funny at this point, I had already been used to like over a year of dealing with G-Man. And this is like Matt Dillahunty's first time actually talking to G-Man. So watching this. So after this is when Sci-10 Atheist made that cartoon that we just watched. With Matt Dillahunty beating G-Man. And then he did the thing with us where he denied starving children in Africa and all that shit. So
servants and slaves.
And he was like, so you want to be my slave? He's like, yeah, sure, I will. He's like, I'm going to make you pick weeds out of my yard.
Yeah,
so
for compensation.
that's the context behind the cartoon we just watched.
Okay, that makes more sense. This whole, for people who have this literal interpretation of the Bible, that shit is incredibly scary when you read the Bible and shit. There's
G-Man is
verses in there
incredibly retarded. I'm sorry.
It's just the things that the Bible commands is terrifying if you read certain verses. Gay people should be put to death. If you masturbate, you should be executed. That's what the Bible says. It's just how can you be a literal
I should be dead 100
interpretation?
times a day.
You should be executed according to the Bible.
The Bible's technology is way too old for it to still be this powerful. 2,000
And after
some
this,
years
though,
later.
G-Man said he beat the shit out of Dillahunty.
Isn't so in
Yeah.
Leviticus, I think is mainly what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. There's so much problematic stuff.
So being gay, you'd be killed.
Yeah.
Oh damn, masturbation. What about period sex? Shit, that's in there too.
Really?
Yeah. Period sex is part of Leviticus.
What about being fat?
Is it?
Gluttony,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well,
It's there's something
you
for
can't
everyone that makes them condemned to hell. It's the Bible is all inclusive. It doesn't discriminate. There's something that makes someone worthy of hell somewhere in the Bible. And that's just when you look at the weird, draconian rules. But there are other parts in the Bible that is equally idiotic. There's literally talking snakes, or there's talking animals, including a talking snake, multiple times in the Bible. So how can you take that literally? Do you believe in talking animals? It boggles my mind. I don't get how you can be a literal interpretationist.
There was a talking donkey in the Bible.
There was a talking donkey in the Bible. It is.
Everyone's doing the Barbara Bush right now because I mentioned period sex.
R.I.P. Barbie B.
Yes, I do, but they're both in the technical sense are slaves, though.
Are you aware that the rules the Bible outlines are different for the treatment of Hebrew servants than they are for non-Hebrew slaves?
There are some rules that are different from the Hebrews than from
Yes,
the servitude.
yes, like the rules in Exodus 21, where it talks about, let me get to the verse. If a man beats his male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies as a direct result, he must be punished. But he is not to be punished if the slave gets up after a day or two, since the slave is his property.
Okay,
Matt Dillahunty, he's coming here to Bellevue at the end of this month. He does
Really?
this thing. Yeah, it's magic and skepticism. So he does magic tricks, but shows like the skepticism behind the magic.
Oh wow!
Almost like Jesus style magic tricks.
That sounds so stupid. We should go.
I mean, it's not that bad. Like, imagine someone like David Blaine if he would have lived when. Actually, South Park made an episode about that. Like, if David Blaine would have lived when Jesus lived, the miracles would have been way more miraculous.
Yeah, water into wine.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that, but you're ignoring the other stuff too about, like, for example, if the slave were to run away, that you can't go get him back.
I'm not ignoring that. I'm not. Why is that relevant?
Work on the Sabbath. You're not talking about that stuff. You're cherry picking on all the negative stuff that you perceive.
Okay.
No. Calling out the negative stuff is not the same as cherry picking.
And see, I'm pointing out the things that I found objectionable. Yes, it talks about giving them the Sabbath off. So what? If they are your property that you can pass on to your kids, and this verse just said that you can beat them as long as they don't get up, as long as they get up within a day or two, and you're saying that's a good thing?
I'm telling you that not yours, but a lot of people's presuppositions regarding.
I asked a question. My presuppositions are irrelevant. I asked a question.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked a question. This book right here, where I just read to you, says that the slave owner can beat their slaves as long as they don't die within 2 or 3 days. Is that a good thing or an evil thing?
Well, if I'm looking at it from your perspective,
I want your perspective. I'm asking you for your perspective, for crying out loud.
I didn't.
This is how insufferable G-Man is.
I fully understand
that
what I'm
tap dance
reading.
around the questions.
Oh man, he's fucking Fred Astaire. I mean, like, seriously.
I know that the Hebrews were permitted from beating them for no apparent reason. The only way you can beat your slave to begin with
Where's
is
that?
they break one of the Mosaic laws.
Yeah, where's that?
No, wait, what'd you say?
They have to break one of the Mosaic laws.
Where does it say you can only beat your slaves if they break one of the Mosaic laws?
Well, if you back up a few verses, it says that you can't smite your servant until the point that he
I'll back
dies.
up a few verses. I'll back up a few verses. To where?
I believe it's in verse 12 of the same chapter that you're reading. Isn't that in Exodus 21?
Yeah, verse 12. Anyone who strikes a man and kills him shall surely be put to death.
Right.
Okay, first of all, that is a law about a man, which is a different category from slaves. So you can't argue from the general to the specific.
In the eyes of God.
Well, if it says in verse 12, if you strike a man and kill him, you should be put to death. And it says in verse 21 that if you strike...
I remember there was another time G-Man called the Atheist Experience, and he was like, Matt Dillahunty, why won't you debate me? And Matt Dillahunty's like... Same reason I don't challenge 6th graders to boxing matches.
Damn.
Yeah.
Does he just troll like atheist YouTube?
He's not.
Shows?
He is not a troll. He is not a troll.
That's just
I
weird.
wish. He is that fucking dumb.
He probably got hit in the head at some point in his life.
Slave and kill him, you shall be punished. I don't know that there's a problem there. You haven't. This verse 12 doesn't in any way say.
Listen.
No, hang on. I'm in the mid-sentence. This verse 12 doesn't in any way say what you said it says. I said, where's the verse that says you can only beat slaves if they break Mosaic law?
Okay, I know that from a secular standpoint, when you're looking at that verse, it looks like this man can just do whatever he wants with his slave.
He can. They're his property. That's what it says.
Rules for him too, and he's certain things he can't do.
Really?
He has to obey the 613 Mosaic laws. And there are a lot more than the couple that you're bringing up right now.
I know about the 613 laws.
Oh, you do?
Where does it say that?
So how do you reconcile that with love your neighbor, love yourself? To be different from the Egyptians.
They're not your neighbors.
When they were slaves in the land of Egypt.
These are not your neighbors. When the Bible talks about neighbors and brethren, they are talking either about fellow Hebrews or fellow Christians, depending on the thing. It's not everybody.
Really? So
if the Bible's all about love your neighbor,
the Good Samaritan. How do you reconcile that with the parable of the Good Samaritan? The Samaritan was somebody that the Jews hated to death. However,
how does the Good Samaritan story in any way, Gary? How does the Good Samaritan story in any way?
Already got pissed in when he called him Gary.
He's like Gary.
Yeah.
My neighbor
See, he hates it when you call him by his real name.
So when we're talking about biblical laws, there are different categories. For example, you're not allowed to charge your fellow Jew interest, but you can charge it to non-Jews. You're aware of that, right?
No, I'm fully aware that there are different laws for indentured
Sure.
The Jew, they charge you the interest.
So they don't get charged interest with each other,
right?
That's great.
Yeah, Jews are smart.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. G-Man, quit
An
being
average guy
ridiculous.
speaks from the heart.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. I didn't have time to
You have to
prepare-
give us your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Mark Robinson. I live at 4015 Sassafras Court. It's right here in Greensboro. I've lived in Greensboro all my life. I didn't have time to write a fancy speech. I didn't have time to, I didn't have the resource of an English teacher to sit down and write a speech with at school today and be, brought over here or practice or anything. What I really came down here for is this. I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group and domestic violence and blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority? And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony. I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet. You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself from some of the very people you're talking about in here tonight.
Thank God somebody had the balls to say it.
Well, ain't nobody gonna rob this motherfucker. Look how big he is. He'll rip your ass head off, man.
This guy beat this shit on a Suge
Ron
Knight.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Damn.
If this was recorded or it took place like less than a month ago, then I would guess that this guy's going to get a call from either Fox News or the NRA, and he will be getting a deal with them. He'll get a job.
We need some of them darkies on our side.
Especially, it depends on how
Was that a
viral this
quote?
goes to. Yeah.
I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens, because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA.
This guy's got tickets to the
I'm here
gun
to
show.
stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community, because I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen. The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in. They're going to hold on to them. And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take them? The police can barely enforce the law as it is. As what I see, we demonize
Wait a minute, do we
the
have a
police,
bunch of people
criminalize
going around taking down Bloods and
vilify the
Crips?
police, and we make the
Uncle
criminals
Phil
into
does.
victims. And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung?
Yeah, they're already
Go
hamstrung.
down here and take these guns from these
I
criminals.
like some good
So
hamstrung.
the criminals are going to
They
hold
could go
on to
down
their
there and take them
They're
guns
still
from
gonna
criminals.
They're still going to break in my house, and they're still going to shoot me with them. And guess who's going to be the one that suffers? It's going to be me. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, it is not going to happen without a fight. And when I say fight, I don't mean shots fired. I don't mean fist thrown. I mean I'm going to come down here to this city council and raise hell just like these loonies from the left do.
Yes.
Until you
Damn,
listen
savage.
to the majority of the people in this city. And I am the majority. The majority of the people in this city are law-abiding. And they follow the law. And they want their constitutional right to be able to bear arms. They want to be able to go to the gun show and buy a hunting rifle or sport rifle. There are no military-grade weapons sold at the...
Yes, there are. You know
They're
there
sold
are.
at flea markets in Ripley, Mississippi, because I've
Yeah.
seen them. Dude, I've seen them. In Ripley, Mississippi, go to a flea market, you can buy an assault rifle for nothing.
Everybody might have the right to bear arms, but this guy's actually got bear arms.
Bears arms.
He will maul you.
A gun
You
show.
don't need
An
guns.
AR-15 is not a military-grade weapon. Anybody that would go into combat with an
AR-15.
AR-15 is a fool.
You fool.
It's a semi-automatic 22 rifle. You'd be killed in 15 minutes in combat with that thing.
Dead.
So we need to dispel all these myths, and we need to drop all this.
I mean, he is right to a degree.
An
AR-15 is not a military grade weapon. An M16 is.
I haven't seen him be wrong yet. The left is pretty fucking silly. All right, this guy's legit. He's one of the good guys.
Because the bottom line is, when that
I'm voting for
Second
him.
Amendment was written, whether the framers liked it or not, they wrote it for everybody, and I am everybody. And the law-abiding citizens of this city are everybody. And we want our rights, and we want to keep our rights. And by God, we're going to keep them, come hell or high water.
Hell or high water.
Mike
Hell
drop.
yeah, dude.
No, this is my question, because that was a fantastic speech. He did a great job. But the problem is that it was all based on a straw man. I've never heard anyone on the left make the case that they actually want to confiscate guns, but I've heard so many people talk about their fear that their guns are going to be taken away. I mean, I don't think that he's saying anything that the left would disagree with besides his argument of the left. I don't think any law-abiding citizens should get their guns confiscated. I mean, the whole point is to make sure that only law-abiding citizens get guns and the crazy people don't. He's so passionately angry, but I feel like it's all based on a straw man and the left-wing caricature that, the right creates of the left.
What if gun violence became a one strike and you're out deal? You have one violent gun offense, or you have a gun and you use it to threaten somebody or rob a bank, and it's boom, you used a gun in that crime, fucking one strike. Having a gun on you illegally, one strike, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's something that we should have, of course. It's just the matter, it's a difficult subject. There's a lot of complexity with the gun debate specifically, because trying to keep crazy people from getting guns, that's a admittedly difficult task. But I mean, to go to confiscation, that's all I ever see from the right, when in actuality, I don't know anyone on the left who wants to take all the guns from law-abiding citizens. I think that is an absurd idea. I'm personally not in favor of that. I just think that moderate gun reform laws that other countries have done that have been successful is something that is worthwhile, like universal background checks. Is it going to stop every single person? No, it's not. It's not like these are all fail-proof things like moderate gun reforms, but certainly I'm not in favor of confiscation. It's just I don't know where this comes from. It's almost like it's a caricature.
Whoa.
It fits. I told you.
That shit's too real.
Yeah.
The end. Thank you, guns. Guns are cool.
An average gun.
One strike means felons not allowed to own guns, but if you get caught using a gun in a crime, you go to jail for the rest of your fucking life.
No! Oh! No! Oh! Why has he got to show pubage? Billy, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What's he? He's on drugs. Somebody get their gun and kill it. Kill it. It's the devil.
Is he jerking it?
Kill it. I think so, yeah.
I had a body like this when I was 10.
I had a body like this a couple nights ago. This dude's summoning a demon, for sure. He's summoning the shave
Jeff,
demon to get those pubes off
I
of
want
his
to show you
chin.
how you can get your very own 2N AIDS t-shirt. Now this shirt was inspired by the film produced by Pastor Stephen L. Anderson called AIDS, the Judgment of God.
Dude.
Because AIDS is a disease.
If the back of this shirt says, if the back of this shirt says 2N AIDS, you turn it around, it says stop queering, I'm done. I'm done. I am fucking done. Shout out to Chipotle in the background there.
No more faggotry.
Has the solution to the AIDS problem. If you want to end AIDS, you need to end the homosexual community or the.
Well, basically, that's what he's going to say there, Billy. He wants to end the homosexual community. He wants to just kill them.
I feel like this guy probably is gay himself.
Closet.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
the only ones who are that passionate. It's just like, why would you care that much? Like, if you're not.
Is
like,
he a
there's
top
no
or a
reason-
bottom, though?
I
think he
feel
likes
like
giving
would
or getting?
probably,
He's a
Yeah,
top.
he'd probably be a top, yeah.
You don't think
But
he's a
he's
power
definitely-
bottom? Just
He's
waiting to get
definitely
his,
been in the bathroom, though, and jerked
waiting to
a
get
bit
his
off.
rectum fucking blown out. He does go to
Maybe.
Chipotle. He hates his asshole.
That's true.
Sodomites. And that's why in the back of the
Sodomites.
Here goes the bag,
Sodomites.
Billy.
Uh-oh.
Here goes the bag, Billy.
What do you want to say that? What do you want to say the back says? Word for word. I already called mine. To end
What
AIDS.
did you say it was again, Billy?
I said to end AIDS, and they turn around. The back says stop queering.
I'm
That
gonna
was
say
mine.
end sodomy is what it says.
And
Something with
sodomy?
sodomy. Something with sodomy.
Gay genocide.
Gay genocide. Okay. Pimp Monk says gay genocide. Mike says end sodomy, and I say stop queering. All right, let's see.
Sure. That's what.
Oh my God.
Shit. Oh. I should have thought of that.
Yeah, Leviticus, what? 2013, man.
Didn't.
But is he wearing mixed linens? Because Leviticus talks about that as well. So he could be in
does.
violation of it as well.
And that shirt is definitely a cotton poly blend.
And he's definitely wearing polyester underwear right now.
Look at the back of his head is not as clean as the front. Oh my God. That's how you know he's not a fucking a bottom. Some guy looks at the back of his head while plowing him out. They're gonna freak out at that terribly
Too much stub, man.
terribly nicked up haircut. Okay, let's hear what he's fucking got to
Yeah,
say.
he's definitely a topper.
Which reads, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
I wish he could actually enunciate. If he's gonna damn all the homosexuals to hell, he should at least read the fucking verse with proper enunciation.
He did say put him to death, though.
Okay.
When it only says if a man lie with another man. So if they're standing up
exactly
and they commit that abomination, then it's perfectly fine. Loophole.
Yeah, or if they're both
Boom.
wearing socks.
And apparently you can suck as many dick as you want if you're on your knees.
Yeah, nobody says kneel.
Yep.
Kneeling is not an abomination.
Yeah, so suck them dicks, guys.
Kneel before Zod.
It's
So,
okay with Leviticus.
you know, December is AIDS Awareness Month, and so we want to promote the Bible solution to the AIDS problem. Now, I'm very careful to say this. The Bible is not giving Christians...
Hold up. Here's the solution to the AIDS problem according to the Bible. You go to hell when you die, right?
So what you're saying is you're pro-AIDS, Billy?
No, what I'm saying is, why the fuck this guy got to make a T-shirt? It's a catch-all.
So you're pro-AIDS.
If you're a sinner, you go
is
to
what you're
hell.
saying.
Why the fuck are you spending your time
you like
on Earth?
AIDS, Billy.
Why are you spending your time on Earth fucking around with
love
people's
AIDS?
choices?
You want people to die of AIDS?
I want people
Billy?
to live of AIDS.
Ben just said people to die. You want people to die?
I just
drunk ass. You want people to die? Don't you belly down temple?
I can't stand people who believe so much in Christianity but won't just allow Christianity to run its course then. If you're that big of a fucking believer,
You know
just
what?
let it run.
No, you know what he would argue though? He would argue that he's not being the asshole, he's being compassionate because he's trying to warn you that you're going to go to hell. So it's really, he's not the bad guy in his eyes anyways.
I said, guess what, dude? I still want to fuck butts, so move on.
The license.
You did a spit take.
Yeah, you got a spit take there, Billy. I took water as soon as you said this shit.
That caught me off guard.
I'm not I'm a spinner, not a
vigilantes and take it upon ourselves just go out killing homosexuals. I don't believe we should take the law in our own hands.
Oh,
But
so
if our
he's
government was
reasonable.
righteous, if our government was aware of this,
Yeah.
our government should be doing this.
Yeah.
Our government should be killing them.
You know, I'm reasonable. Like, we shouldn't be killing homos. Our government should be doing it.
Maybe our government
should
should,
declare
though.
homosexuals a capital offense. Homosexuality as a capital offense worthy of death. And that's what Romans
And
13 says.
I'd be willing to give all of our church proceeds. You could tax our church if I knew that tax money was going to killing the homos. Okay? Just saying. Novel idea, right? Fuck you.
You're a monster.
Fuck you.
There is a 99% chance he's a closeted homosexual. Because again, nobody cares this much if they're not like personally like feeling some, repression or self-hatred.
So how many dicks on average do you think he's had in his mouth?
Look at his lips. He's got DSL.
I know the answer to this.
Yeah.
433.
Look, he's got cocksucker lips. That's undeniable. And the fact there's a rainbow formulating behind his head.
He's got, look at his head. He's got the perfect head to put a hand on each side. And
all
work
signs.
He's
all
got the queer
signs-
hand, man.
All signs point to yes.
Separate kid.
No, I'm going to say that he's only been with 2 men before in his life. But after the first one, he thought, okay, I'm done. I'm going to quit. I'm going to get my life right with Christ. And then he fucked up. He backslid and he did it again. So he's like, okay, now we're going to talk about killing them because we really have to get right.
Yeah.
So no turning back now. It's like when you're on a diet and you have a cheat day and you feel so guilty and then you want to really go extra hard and punish yourself for messing up. This is what he's experiencing. So I'm going to say
shit.
2.
This just is live from spring break.
Ran a mile on the beach. You paddled a mile in the ocean, and now what are you doing?
Chugging the live from spring break in Panama City. Oh shit! What's going on here? Oh no! Oh shit! All hell's breaking loose.
This is my friend
What does this
Sarah.
mean?
Sarah was trying to finish her six-pack.
Welcome to the Iron Man.
It looks like you've been training for this for some time.
I've been doing this for about 25 years.
Oh no! Oh. Her face.
The reason this triggers Pimp Monk so much is that this guy's Pimp Monk in his younger years. Pimp Monk remembers getting spewed on.
This video always triggers him and makes him want to puke.
Man, fuck you in your butt, man. That's it.
What? Oh, does that mean you want to watch it again?
No,
All
let's
right.
just recap. You guys
I watch
ran
this.
a mile on the beach.
I'm gonna be strong.
I remember, when I beat Joe and he had the puke all over his hands. I'm like, Joe, show it to Pimp Monk. He's like, gotta go. I gotta go now.
They don't always affect me, but sometimes it does.
Paddled a mile in the ocean, and now what are you doing?
Chugging a 6-pack of beer.
Chugging a 6-pack of beer. I feel that you are very well. What's going on? What's going on? Oh no! It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. This is my friend Sarah. Sarah was trying to finish her.
She is like surrounded by people drinking like crazy all day.
Welcome to the Iron Man.
Billy is too right now.
Billy is get projectile vomited on.
I've been doing this for about 25 years.
Oh god. The first bit gets on their fucking faces. And the next bit splashes
Pimp
off
Monk,
of his
imagine
shoulder.
that shit on your skin. Oh, dude, it's on his face.
That's the
too.
problem. That's the
Dude,
problem.
Dude,
I don't mind puke.
Dude, do
It's
you
on
see
the
how it's on his
skin part.
face? Do you
That's
see
the
how it's on
problem.
his neck? Oh my god. It's on his
Was
fucking
the
neck.
guy
dude.
behind him dry heaving too? Like it looked like both of the guys behind were like dry heaving as well.
Oh my
It
god.
isn't just the puke. It isn't the puke. It's the puke on his skin. That's what
It's
bothers
on
me.
his skin, yeah.
And it's, right now my stomach is rolling a little bit. I ain't gonna lie now.
See, I get turned on by puke. That's
because you're a fucking freak.
Yo, safely! Let's go find this hater, put a bullet in his fucking head.
Oh, you like me now?
I'm the only critic with the good kind of fairy drama.
That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
Wah, wah. All right.
Womp.
Hello, Chris.
No way.
It's Chris Chan.
Well,
Shut the
I
fuck
got
up.
you, man. At least
You know, I really want Chris Chan to come on the show. And I know he's hard up for money these days. We should
give him $6.
We should tell Chris Chan we'll give him like $100 to be on the show.
$88.
So if someone could get in contact with Chris Chan and let him know, we'll give him $100 so he can come on the show. But he has to come on for all 3 hours and he can't back out.
He's got to stick around or we'll kick him
Or
down.
she.
Excuse me.
that's you're
Use
real
the right
lucky guy
pronouns,
to
Billy.
get that. Even after
Z.
mine or like that for months at a time. But still, dude.
Still,
My
dude.
humblest apologies. Let's just hope we can put this behind us. And please, dude, please.
Please, Dad.
Stop pretending to be me.
Please,
It ain't
Dad.
worth it. It's not fun. You're gonna get yourself in jail, man. Identity theft is a serious crime.
Serious crime, dude.
Especially after the hefty bill you put up. Counterfeited my driver's license with your picture
How
on
old
it.
is this fucking
Counterfeited my high school diploma. Counterfeited my Piedmont degree.
A Piedmont degree?
You would write yourself up a big bill, man.
Did he say
I
a
hate to
Piedmont
see-
degree?
I mean,
Yeah.
before I would have personally seen it, but I've seen you out there. But after talking to Casey, she cares about you very much, man. I just hate to break up that relationship between you and her.
Is he gonna start cringe rapping?
That's what he's doing, man.
This is cringe rap?
Is he wearing? Okay, is that a Pikachu necklace? I'm trying to figure it out because there's like
I think it's a Sonic chew.
Sonichu. It's Sonic the Hedgehog with Pikachu.
Oh, okay. Because I do see Sonic, I see Tails, and then I see a cross in the background. So I'm like trying to figure out like.
Oh shit!
What's
He's
going
about
on?
to tear it up. He's about
Oh
to
my
tear it
God.
up.
Here comes the orange toboggan.
You best be afraid. Oh shit!
Is he putting
Oh,
shades
no.
over his glasses? No. He's what the fuck is this shit?
Ugh.
Let's do this thing.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah, you ready?
No.
Smell your duck. From Risque. DJ! Guys, stupid!
Oh no, I know this song.
I done text your bitch ass, and you ain't responding to nothing. What the fuck is you doing? Who the fuck is you out there with? You think I'm stupid? My girl's already done put me up on your ass tonight, nigga. You get home, I got some food for your bitch ass.
Are you coming home? 5 in the morning. Something's going on. Can I smell your dick? Don't play me like a fool, cause that ain't cool. So what you need to do is let me
Smell that
dick. Why you coming home 5 in the morning? What's going on? Can I smell your dick? And then you like a fool, cause that ain't cool. So what you need to do is let me smell your dick. 7 o'clock and 2, sleeping it's late at night and I'm creeping. You could still be leaving, cause I know you're cheating. Why you can do your dad? Say I call you, don't talk like that. Don't you say you tell you the guy. That's the best up here, you say that. You're sleeping and drinking. And so there's 3 foot bitches. A girl, she's a bitch. There's some pictures.
This is what every
you don't
drunk
like
person
this?
sounds
Why are
like
you
when they're trying to sing
laughing?
a song.
This is the fucking
don't like
greatest.
it?
This is the greatest karaoke I've ever seen.
Okay, good.
No, bitches.
I'm glad we agree.
Snitches.
I'm glad we agree. Did the brother from Napoleon Dynamite just lift his entire
Oh my
act from
God.
Christian? I was talking to Lushma Fonda, and she said I should be a pit fighter. But every time I come home, she makes
Smell
me
your dick.
give my dick to her for a sniff. She has to smell my dick.
Let's move on to
Baby,
the next
let
one.
me smell
Oh,
your
shit.
dick.
Hold on.
Why you coming home at 5 in the morning?
Bitch.
Oh God.
Yo, somebody. What? Who? Y'all know me. 613. All the one.
This angle, this camera angle is kind of like
I smoke good.
it makes him look like a gray alien, but it's
I'm from motherfucking Canada, shit.
Yeah, 613 is Ontario, Canada.
hides the pubes on his chin and his crackhead teeth. What a perfect camera angle for this guy.
You know what I'm trying to
His
say?
fetal alcohol syndrome really gets hidden by this black and white close angle fucking lens.
Never heard, and that's my word. I'ma spin it.
That's his
I'ma
word,
rip it,
Billy.
trip it, dip it.
Yeah,
oh,
his
shit.
word is rehab.
Throw that bitch ass motherfucker in the ocean. Shoulda paid me what he owed me. Motherfucking money.
Pay me what you owe me, motherfucking
Gotta
money.
Get my money. Money on my mind every time. I just stay on my grind. Words coming out my brain every time. You know
Every
my
time.
name. I don't play no games. Fuck the
I don't know your name. You
Y'all
probably should have
know
dropped
what
it there in the
I'm
verse,
saying,
dude.
Oh no, I gotta let him know. Joe somebody, here we go, buddy. Hey, homie, y'all know me. 613. 661.
I'm very impressed by the camera angle for some reason.
Like, whoa, y'all don't know.
I feel uncomfortable as he gets closer.
Oh, those fucking teeth.
You can almost taste the chiclets in his mouth.
Joe somebody, y'all know me.
Yeah,
I feel like I gotta back up.
Yeah.
Argyle, one-eyed pirate style pillaging. So batten down the hatches and spread word to the villagers. Kimmy Gibbler and DJ Tanner bringing the banner back. Argyle pimps, you should go home and Google that. Shit, you need to spit some ill shit or get the fuck off the pot. So what's your answer, bitch? Are you my boyfriend or not?
You gonna be my boyfriend or not? I think you're cute too.
Got a good picture. I'm chilling out here with all my niggas and my niggas. This dude just pissed his pants.
He's pissed his pants?
Really good.
Holy shit. Dude, this guy's fucking awesome.
Like, yeah, he
And he's
like
just
literally
rolling with it.
Yeah, he's like fanning it around.
He did it on purpose. There's no way he didn't do this on purpose
Look
as
at
intimidation tactic. This is amazing.
Look at the host of the rap battle. He's like.
Right here, just something like a nerve. Go back to resale. You ain't the good weird. It's right here, still up in the hood still.
He's just letting it waft.
I've never seen this effective in a freestyle battle.
That is actually amazing. I'm impressed.
I commend him for his confidence. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I had
pants is cool, kids.
Just piss my pants or shit myself in public. People would not mess with me.
Yeah, but you know this is a white people battle. Black people are like, get your hunk ass out here with that piss.
Yo, that's bound to happen at a battle. Someone might get pissed.
All right.
Yo, it's bound to happen in a battle. Somebody's likely to piss themselves. What?
There, I got something to say. No worries, though. Ain't nothing too crazy. There's a place I know, and it's really quite close. An oval thing made of H2O. Take my hand, let's hit the ice. Trust me, it'll be nice.
That's my jam.
Swoosh, swoosh, keep on gliding, round and round, just like you flying. So here's the question that I'm asking you. Hope I don't look like a fool, but would you be my...
Oh, come on. Come on.
What, Billy? This man is amazing.
Drown
date for
him.
little ice skate?
What is it? What?
He's asking somebody to go ice skating with him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I think he
that's
should
not a
take
good way
the
to
ice
ask me
skate
that.
and fall neck first onto the blade.
The ice skate.
Thank God.
Is he rapping now? Holdar's rapping.
Yeah. Thank God Mad Mardigan is back.
Mad Mordigan.
Mad Mordigan.
The Irish King.
Estoy by.
All right, so now we're going to put up the timer. The timer will resume at the first Super Chat or Streamlabs. 2011 mode for Benpai'S birthday is live right now.
The very first donation.
End the night with Benpai laying on the floor vomiting.
The very first donation.
You.
I'm going to sing happy birthday to Benjamin.
There you go.
Will you?
Very first donation.
Oh, damn.
Kick it off.
Is it going to be like Marilyn Monroe jumping out of the cake?
You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
You should do it. Happy birthday, Mr. Benjamin. That's what you should do.
I'd strip down to my underwear and do it, but I'm not wearing any.
Oh,
yeah.
That's super cute.
Super cute.
Hey.
To you.
Happy birthday, Mr. Benjamin. Happy birthday to you. Juju. Juju B. You ate my Juju Bees, you fucking...
Oh! You think you're better than me, huh?
You think you're better than me, huh? Oh my God. Strutting that ass. Strutting that ass.
Strut that ass.
Are we all the same person?
We are.
Think about it. Think about it.
Thank you, honey.
So, Mike, after tonight, who out of the four of us, including yourself, is the most racist?
I don't know. That's a tough question. It's not me. I'm not racist. It's one of
Let
you
me
guys.
smell your dick.
You know, I'm in 2011 mode, but I love the fans so much that I'm just going to do it anyway.
And he's drunk and don't give a fuck.
Benjamin just loves a little
I've been
sippy
drunk,
sip.
like Billy met me like 5 hours ago when I was drunk.
Yeah.
I hold the drunk forever. The drunk is easy for me. Pit Monk, you've seen me drunk before. You know.
I met Ben at like the back bar of a diner. I walked in and there was like a ton of old people like sad, ready to die. And Ben was sitting there chipper as hell like, good morning.
Yeah.
I'm here for my liquor. Happy birthday, Ben. Having a great night watching your show. Plus, Cleveland put a beating on the helpless Raptors. Keep up the good work, guys.
Really?
Thank you, Chris.
Good for them.
Win. Oh, this is nothing for Ben here.
Let me
Wins.
smell your dick.
I
Happy
smoke
birthday.
weed forever, and I live in a legal weed place. So the
Happy
strongest
birthday,
weed.
Benjamin. Benjamin, it's your birthday. Benjamin, let me smell your dick. Let me smell your dick.
Can I like cup it and then like put it in front of your face?
I just want you to lay it across my upper lip like a fake mustache. So, Mike
You
said
know-
that Pimp Monk was the most racist out of all four of us.
One of the saddest days of my life was when I found out that girls know when you have a boner hug.
They do?
Yeah, when you hug a chick and like you get a boner, they know like immediately.
Well, how do they know?
Years ago.
That's why you should have a small one like me. They never find out.
Whatever. It's been revealed that you don't have a small one.
It's a good size.
Yeah. So like I always thought it never went noticed, and then like at one point someone was like, "Hey, you know, I noticed that."
I'm broke
I
as
just
hell right
didn't-
now. But I
just
want to
didn't
give a little
wanna
money to
tell
my
you.
favorite podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Thank
Hope you had a good one. Thank you, Wolf.
Boner hugs do not go unnoticed, apparently.
How many boner hugs did you give before somebody finally told you? Like Ben.
A lifetime's worth.
Ben, you're
A
32.
a
You
lifetime.
gotta stop rubbing your dick up
I
against
mean,
me.
in high school is when I give the most boner hugs. Any time I.
Well, in high school, girls are like excited to get.
And
the
I'm
boner
like,
hug.
whoa, you know, in high school, like, yeah, but yeah.
Girls love boner hugs in high school. It's when they,
No, they
get
don't.
out when they
They
get out of the
don't.
working world and they're like doing their 9 to 5, and everywhere they go, someone's trying to give them a boner hug. They hate that shit. They hate that shit. But at high school, it's like, oh yeah, let's get more boner hugs.
No, they don't like it.
Shower me in boner hugs. That's not a quote. Wasn't a quote in your
They don't
yearbook?
like it.
There wasn't a quote in the back of the yearbook that said "shower me in boner hugs."
because
Katie-
like in high
Katie
school,
Patowski.
at the sleepover, you're sharing a sleeping bag with Susie Johnson, and then something like moves in the sleeping bag like a fucking giant anaconda, and they're like, "What is that?" No, they don't appreciate.
Dude, if they're sharing a sleeping bag with you, they want the fucking boner hug. If they're in your sleeping bag, they're wanting. They've literally consented to the boner hug at that point.
Stop rewriting this.
I'm sorry. There's rules about sleeping bags. They're one per person, and if there's the numbers ever multiply, everybody in that bag is down for a boner hug. It's the design of the bag.
Boner hugs. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, Mike? Out of the four of us, including yourself, which one of us is the most rapey?
Well, the boner hug thing is a little bit suspect, so I'd have to say Ben.
Thank you. Why
Only
is that
by
so-
your own admission about the boner
I mean,
hug.
like,
This is-
okay, you give someone a hug, and then like it's kind of weird, like it's like a rubby kind of weird hug, and then
Yes,
oh well, thank you,
gamer.
I'll spin the wheel. How is that gross though?
You've got to hug like where you like arch your back and like your, because you know how there was like those hover hands, that was a big cringe thing back in like the
Yeah.
mid 2000s. You got to do like a hug version of that, just like where you're like backed up.
Yeah, you got to hover hand your cock, dude. if you're not hovering that cock, then that's just poor penmanship. You got to, dude. I think I ruined Ben's weed.
God damn it!
I think I ruined a weed for Ben.
No.
That was a hit take. A spit hit.
No.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey.
Do I have to spin again?
I believe somebody wished you a happy birthday. Was Annoyed Gamer, and it was 6 cents off of the 2011 mode.
Yeah, I'll
but
do it.
I think that's worth a little spinny spin.
Don't twist my arm, boys.
Not by the hair of my spinny spin.
You know what? The other night I was at a bar, and there was like a group of gay guys at the bar, and they were like talking about how it's fashionable to be trans now. And the one guy was like, you know, now a lot of transsexuals, they call me a cis. It kind of reminds me like when I was in high school and all the jocks called me a sissy too. And I was sitting there like, and I just started laughing my ass off, and they all looked at me, and I'm like, sorry, that was fucking hilarious. And they were like,
gay
yeah,
people
you're right.
aren't cis though, right?
Yeah, they are. Like,
Are they?
Yeah, if you're the gender of your sex, like your birth sex, yes, you're cis.
Huh.
So they were like, I'm sick of all these. Yeah, they were mad. It was a bunch of drunk gay dudes mad about how like trannies get all the attention these days. It was so funny.
Haiku King.
And he was like, when I was when I was in high school, they called me a sissy, and now they all call me a cis. And when he said it, like, I just started like laughing my ass off. Like I never heard.
Just like perpetually victimized.
Yeah, I get called a cis by both.
But that's why gay people are obsolete now. Because with a trans person, you can have a big old dick and some big old.
They
tits.
were talking about how it's
that's an upgrade.
fashionable. Have you ever heard that? Like, I don't know how much you get out or anything, but
I don't ever get out. I've never heard that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Just like knee jerk. I mean, I don't know, because they were drunk, so maybe it didn't like have to make sense. But I don't know. Maybe they mean like they're getting all the attention like socially. But I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. And this is an anecdotal story for me, but
Sure.
you know, it was kind of a funny thing. Like, it was almost like a punchline to me.
Haiku King wished you a happy birthday while you were there. And
Thank
gave
you,
a nice
Haiku
9/11.
King. Why don't you go back?
Nice 9/11.
Why don't you go and put Joe's dick back in your mouth while you're at it, Haiku King?
Wow, why don't you just call him a cis next?
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, he can't handle the heat. You saw him fucking spew his guts out. Why don't you go fucking eat your king's puke up off the floor while you're at it, bitch?
Ooh, Ben's bitter.
How am I bitter? I
Where's
won.
the whiskey with all the bitters? The old fashioned.
I won.
Ben's undefeated.
Stone boy.
Summer is here. No more classes. Only
Pimmonk
DP
has
forever.
seen me drink. I have this crazy, like, for my weight, drinking constitution where it's just like the drinks, they can just keep going.
Ben's one of the few people in this world that brag about their alcoholism. It's very cute.
So I win. I'm the winner.
Somebody should get you like a championship hernia belt for all the drinking you do.
Well, my hernia is about to be fixed.
You hope.
I know it will.
What if they botch it?
But then I'll die.
Oh no, I don't want that to happen.
Oh well, it already sounds like you do.
I don't want. No, I want.
Young
I want,
Billy Fridge want Ben to die.
I don't want Ben to die. Leviticus 2013.
And the fat asses of the world want the Benjamin to die.
Yeah, it was Herns lying with hernias. Shall not lie with hernias. Shall not die during hernia operation. I don't know the Bible at all.
That's probably in there somewhere, though.
It's got to be, right?
They cover everything. They cover absolutely everything.
Which chapter was Leviathan? Fuck Leviticus.
It's between Deuteronomy and Matthew. So like
Deuteronomy,
Old Testament is, yeah.
Deuteronomy was after do the right thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
That sounds
that's
like
what
the
homosexuality stuff is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like the gay man's handbook.
Yeah.
Like the guide to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy. He released the Kraken.
Yep.
Leviathan.
I'm a doctor of Deuteronomy.
Eat the Deuteronomy. Date the poo-poo.
So, like, who's the most annoying type of gay dude for you?
For me?
Yeah. Well, I have to ask like the one gay dude because like for us, it just sounds like homophobia.
I can half answer.
No, I have an answer to this actually. So to me, and I actually talked about this on my show back in like 2015, it is the ones who are really hyper focused on identity politics to the point where there's like no nuance whatsoever. So I'll give you an example of that. So I was pissed that a lot of the people in my own social circles who are LGBT, I don't really talk to them anymore, but I went to school with them.
Yeah.
All of them universally Hillary Clinton supporters. And that like did not make any sense to me because like Bernie Sanders was like, when he was the mayor of Burlington, Vermont, he was allowing gay pride parades to go on. He was basically, he wrote something about how gay marriage should be legal. Like he was way ahead of his time. And then like everyone just kind of, and of course this is a generalization, but everyone I felt like that I knew that was gay just like migrated towards Hillary Clinton without even thinking about it. And that to me was really weird because like these are people who are really like, they care about equality. They care about, they focus on identity politics relatively frequently and social issues pretty like a lot. So, the fact that they just went to Hillary without even thinking about it, if you care about social issues, then that's a contradiction because just in 2004, she was like on the Senate floor talking about how she had the opportunity to stand up for marriage and how it should be between one man, one woman. So it really made no sense to me. So, I mean, I don't think that that's like a type of like gay person. That's just like me in my own social circles being irritated because it's like if you care about LGBT rights as much as you say you do, and you're voting specifically based on that. I mean, even the HRC endorsed Hillary over Bernie. It's like, how, if that's what you're basing your vote on, at least in large part.
I thought he was going to say the Latino dog daddies. Oh, no, my little pee-pee. No,
pet my pee-pee.
No, you cannot pet my little pee-pee.
Pet my little pee-pee.
Yeah, I get it totally. Fuck Hillary. I mean, like, Hillary and Obama both did that. Like, Obama did the, like, one man, one woman thing for a while until he saw the tide swing.
That was because he had to secure the African-American vote.
That made it federally legal. So, it's funny that...
All right.
It's funny that still people, like, Republicans still run on that issue when it's a closed case at this point. Like...
It makes no sense. They denounce identity politics, but then they invoke identity politics as much as like some of these neoliberal centrist Democrats. It's so annoying. Everyone's a hypocrite, I feel like, and as humans, I feel like we're inherently hypocritical in a lot of ways, but I mean, don't wear it on your sleeve like that, like the way Republicans do and Democrats do. It's fucking annoying. I hate it.
All right, Ben, what's the type of gay you hate the most?
See, it's gonna sound bad coming, like, just in general or gay dude?
Type?
General.
I give you permission as a gay person on
you
behalf
gotta,
of the whole...
No,
I'm gonna say the type A personality lesbian, if I have to name anything.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, I'm gonna spin.
Hillary is a lizard, Anarcha is an ice wolf.
The ones that, I mean, like, I've had to work with ladies who were like extremely zealous about everything, and they didn't like me easily.
Yeah, I had a female PE teacher like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Pimp Monk, who's your...
I get nervous even saying such a thing.
Who's
like,
your
I don't
most...
want to sound terrible.
Who's your least preferred general brand of gay?
He didn't give me the pass, so I'm not going to answer.
You have a pass. I can only grant the pass for a minute. So after that, anything is deemed homophobic. So
yeah,
you have to come up with the answer quickly.
It's the ones that think everybody's homophobic.
Yeah. I think that's fair, though. I think that's fair. And I don't know if it's just me, like, because now I'm not around like a lot of gay people, so I can't like speak. I'm just out of the loop with the community. I'm kind of an introvert, just generally speaking. But yeah, I can agree with that because that's kind of annoying. You don't want to have to, like, I don't feel like I don't want people to watch their pieces TUs around me. Like,
Wasabi.
You know what I mean? That would be kind of obnoxious.
So
yeah,
Ben,
when people can't talk, everything's racist, everything's homophobic. It just gets a little crazy.
Somebody said that your impression was almost French. It didn't seem like it was a Latino with a gay dog with a pee-pee.
Oh shit!
It sounded too French.
Well, I will tell you one thing that French is Latin. So to say that French isn't Latino, I mean, like it's not Latin American.
I don't really have a type of gay that is my least favorite. I just always found it weird how there's like that gay accent, that vocal inflection that certain gay guys will get.
Okay, what are you talking about? It's okay.
How does that happen? How do they just adopt that at some point?
They do it on. I mean, like that is intentional.
Is that like peacocking? So they.
I mean, like if they
attract
don't do
more-
it their whole lives.
I remember I had a buddy who I knew all through
And
high
we don't
school.
mean
and when
sorry. We don't mean to make you become like the gay spokesman of DP. Damn it! I keep rolling wasabi. Dude, I can't keep eating. I'm just gonna take a whiskey shot.
Take a whiskey shot and a vodka drink. We actually talk about this every episode all the time. It's just the fact that you're here now. We've been waiting till the end to do
No,
it.
sure. I'm down. I'm down.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you know what it is, and for that that is an interesting question. I think it has to be socially, like you know how you kind of emulate people who you're around socially. So maybe if someone is like around, but here's the thing that's weird. It's for me, like the way that I'm perceived, I have no clue because, like, for example, with my own viewers, as my subscribers, like kind of as I get new people who watch my show throughout the years, some people will be like, oh, I had no idea you were gay. And then others will be like, oh, it was completely obvious. I knew, like,
I wouldn't have known it. I wouldn't have, like, well, I don't scrutinize people when I first meet them for their sexuality, but I just wouldn't have known unless you would have told me.
See, I knew because of that gigantic phallic symbol behind you on the wall.
The Capitol?
Capitol building? Yeah, we know what that really means.
We're all getting fucked by the Capitol.
Bazinga. The Capitol building is a chode.
Yeah, so I don't know how I'm perceived. That's the thing. Since there's such a range of like people who, you know, respond to me and whatnot, and who are shocked and who are just, oh, you know, no shit, Sherlock. So I don't even know if I'm perceived that way, to be like very effeminate. In fact, when I first started,
I don't think you are.
Well, when I first started, like one of the first 2 videos I posted, somebody's like, "Oh, another lispy gay guy talking about liberal politics." I'm like, "Wait, am I lispy? Like, I don't know how I'm perceived." It's difficult because we're always going to be our own like biggest critic, where we look at every little detail and nitpick it. You know, so I don't know. It's hard. Maybe I think like maybe I sound like that stereotype. But then
when
again,
you say
I
the
don't
word
know.
lispy,
It's hard to say.
lispy, the lisp comes out when you say the word lispy, but I have the same problem. I carry a lisp, a slight lisp
with
as
that
well.
word.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, no, I just like there's just like this level of like effemination that comes into the voice, and I'm like, how do you just turn that on? But I guess it could be like coupling, tribalism, like you said, when you're around enough people that kind of pick it up.
You know what?
That's
And
interesting.
here's what I'll say too, is that I kind of feel like before, when I used to like actually when I had friends, when I hung out, when I had a life, but like when I would be around like straight guys, like my straight guy friends, like I noticed that I would be like, I don't want to say like act more straight, but I would just seem like I would kind of get that persona more like
Have you ever dated a woman?
A little bit, here and there. I dabbled, but they ended horribly because
Sure.
You know, when
She didn't have a dick.
she didn't have a dick, so that was a deal breaker for me. But then when I hang out around like, you know, female friends that I have, like I kind of like almost feeling like I'll catch myself acting more gay, if that makes sense. So I think it's all just like socially driven, like, and it's not even just like my mannerisms, it's things that I'll talk about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever slapped a purse out of somebody's hands?
I have not.
You ever had a purse slapped out of your hand?
Yeah, no. Define purse. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe
we
a
should have
satchel or something.
We should have him on.
A fanny pack.
We should have him on to talk to JF, because you remember GF. He was like, someone think it's important to have a dick in someone's ass. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's really weird.
JF. You know JF?
He's an interesting fellow.
He was you know, Warski Live, Andy Warski.
I don't know.
What JF does is he champions an ethno state.
Yes,
but
He's
he allows
very far right.
He allows any ethnicity of woman into the ethno state that will
hot
fuck
Asian
him.
chicks.
It's so funny. She's welcome into my ethno state and she will give me the suck. It's like what like you're not building an ethno state. You're building a fantasy island, dude.
Yeah, like if you, well, the thing was, he was on here debating a guy that said something about how, the Western world is a champion of LGBT rights. He's like, you want to like be happy because a man put his dick in another man's. I'm imitating his accent. He's like, he has a French accent.
Maybe you should try your Pepe the Latin dog owner accent.
Yeah,
that might be a little better.
I should
French accent. No,
I was kind of shocked. Like I knew JF wanted an ethno state, but I didn't know he also hated gays too. Kind of weird. Like you think some like Pimp Monk, you and me. We've known JF for years now, like 3 years now.
Yeah,
I just
never knew.
I just love that we broke the fact that he was dating a girl with a very low IQ on the Drunken Peasants show. That's big news, man. That's big news.
Well, you'd have to have a low IQ to be with someone who wants an ethno state, because I feel like that's just such a dumb ideology.
There we go. All right, so I'll be talking to
I don't see the appeal there.
Would you like maybe I could set something up, like we could have a I mean, you can't argue morality. Like, oh, you're gay and I don't like that. I think that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can't argue that. There's no way to prove that's right or wrong.
Yeah.
But like you can
it's just
argue
like a
ideas.
circular argument. Like you'll never get anywhere. Yeah.
No, I mean, like the only way you could do it is because it makes God mad. But I know JF doesn't believe in God, so he can't do that shit.
This is really weird. So he is in favor of an ethno state, but he's religious, but he'll make exceptions for women and whatnot. That's like
he's not religious. Yeah. Actually, he's he was a longtime supporter of this show. And then he got he became the co-host of Warski Live with Andy Warski, which is a pretty big show. And JF, in a way, he did grow up in an ethno state. He grew up in Quebec, which is in a way an ethno state in Canada. It's not separate. They don't have a closed border. So if you're a Canadian citizen, you can move to Quebec all you want. But they actually do have an active separatist movement where they've tried to secede from Canada a few times, like within my lifetime.
I remember growing up in Quebec.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful as a child. That's why I would like an ethno state
And,
back.
the things I'll say about JF is he's a doctor of, I think, neurobiology.
Thugonomics.
No. I mean, like, he is, like, an educated guy. And personally, I like JF. Like, I've known him for a while, and him and I have had personal conversations. I like him. But, yeah,
It kind of fucked up. It kind of fucked up, though.
Well, I just like how he attributes his ethno state idea to growing up in Quebec as a child.
It is,
and
though. It is
enjoying.
an ethno state.
He enjoyed, but
not close.
But he thinks him making an ethno state will bring him back to that mentality of being happy as a kid. But the only reason he was happy then is because he was of average height as a kid.
Oh, damn.
Now he's a manlet. No, I shouldn't talk shit about people's height because I'm very tall.
He's tall. He's like tall. 3 inches taller than me.
I'm very tall.
You know what? Let's show a comparison here.
I'm very tall.
Let's go stand on your cam.
I don't think.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll good.
Just stand like your head will be.
Well, they can't hear us, so we can talk shit about them now. There you go. They both suck. Look at them bouncy ass titties. I hate this one. I love those fucking guys, man. This is awesome.
Why don't you die, bitch?
I'm very tall.
No, I mean, like, I won't say Jeff is a jerk because he delivers his message so eloquently. I don't agree with it, but I'd like to have, like, here's the big problem. Here's the big problem. I normally land left of center on a lot of these issues, but it's hard to find people who are left of center that want to debate these guys.
Yeah.
Like I've asked so many, like Tim Black. I asked him to come on and debate JF. And he said, I don't want to platform him. And I tried to say...
That's my whole thing, too,
But here's the thing. He already has a platform. He already has a platform bigger than what we have. He already does. So you have to, like, if you disagree with his points, now's the time to attack those.
Well, this is my whole thing with debating people who are so far in the fringe with their ideology, who advocate for something
it's
like
not
an
the fringe anymore, though.
Yeah,
Like, it's not.
It is. But my whole thing is, if you debate them in a way, you are inadvertently legitimizing their ideas to suggest that it's even debatable. I mean, you think that as we evolve, as we become more socially aware, the idea of an ethno-state is not even up for debate. Just normal, rational people are against it. So that's kind of like my problem with it, is I would never want to legitimize someone with that egregious of a view, which is why I kind of agree with Tim Black. I don't think I would ever want to debate someone who advocates for that, even let alone like a conservative, because I kind of feel like debate in general.
See, the weird thing about him is he has a PhD in like these. I don't know what his PhD is. It might be biology or it might be neurology, but he has he'll argue with you from a scientific argument. But yeah,
it's skewed.
It is. I mean,
sure,
yeah,
sure. Well, and you can take. There's basically a study that can back up any idiotic view ever. It's a matter of who's willing to take the time to dive into the study itself and dissect it and see if this study is accurate. Do they have a large enough sample size? What's the probability that this is accurate? So I mean, I feel like anyone, any dumbass think tank, right wing or left wing, you can find studies that kind of. It's just confirmation bias a lot of the times. So I mean, if he really is looking at peer reviewed studies to use his argument, then that I
see the thing with him is if you disagree with him, he takes, if you won't debate him, he takes that as a loss. And he just uses he already has a big enough platform. Trust me.
How many people are viewing the show he's on?
I mean, when he was on, him and his business partner, they recently parted ways. But when they were doing a good show, they were getting 5,000 live viewers at a time.
And they would just be like, you know what? White people are way better than other people.
Well, they would have Richard Spencer and other white nationalists on too.
What are you doing for the white race? I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
Well, it only counts as 2 because they're half white. Only half white.
That chat room was always disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't go anywhere near that shit. No, to me, I feel like, in a way, also not debating them, it's kind of like a strategy, like cultural isolation, to put people basically to not want to associate with them. Hopefully, that will cause them to think about just how fringe and crazy their views are. I mean,
have to disagree with you. I think at this point, you can't.
What we need.
Yeah, it is. You know what it is, though? I'll tell you this. I don't know how big the number of people, is in this country that actually advocates for an ethno.
It's very large. On YouTube, it is insanely large. I can point you to 5 channels.
But do you think that the number itself is growing, or do you just think that... Or you don't think that it's just that people are just more... they feel comfortable speaking about
growing?
it?
I don't know. I think the trend
You've
is
been
dying.
on it.
I think the trend is dying.
He just
I
wants to
kind of
believe
feel
that.
like the trend is dying itself as well, because I mean, you had Donald Trump, who, while not everyone who supported him was racist, I don't believe that, but I think that a lot of people felt empowered because he spoke about race and immigration in these really awful terms, so people felt kind of empowered to come out of the closet, so to speak, and say, look, I advocate for an ethno-state too, but since he kind of politically and policy-wise, since he's not living up to their standards, I kind of feel like that alt-right movement is dissipating in a way. So I mean, this is difficult. I don't know how to measure this. Like, how do we know if it's growing or they're just coming out of the closet? It is tough. But I definitely...
we just have to have you on with Jean-Francois Garrett.
Let's do a poll. If you guys...
You won't talk to him?
I wouldn't know. I just couldn't. I feel like I would be personally responsible for legitimizing it, even if
I'll tell you what. Honestly, like, I understand your reasons, and I probably would even agree with you more, but they're gonna take this as a victory. Like, they just do that.
Let them have their victories.
Like, okay.
They're gonna need them.
Yeah, the way that I think of it is just don't bring those views to light. Just let them die quietly.
They won't. Dude, they're growing.
Yeah,
they're already growing.
But in order to
you
be...
have to snuff them out at this point. Like, no, if you disagree, you have to snuff them out.
In order to be proud of a victory like that, you'd have to have a very low IQ.
No, I just feel like strategically, it's not in the interest of the left.
It's just going to keep growing, dude.
But
like,
you have
it's
to
already
understand,
big.
though, from my point of view, it's like we're past that culturally and socially. So right now, like,
It's
my
back.
goal is...
That's the problem. Like, I feel personally past that.
Yeah.
But it's back again. I mean, it's like to the point where, I mean, like, you can't really just ignore it. Like, you have to fight back against it.
Sure, and I'll agree with it's certainly bigger than I thought, especially after seeing like Charlottesville. Like, to see that many people come out with their tiki torches and whatnot, that was certainly surprising. I knew that there were still people like that in this country, but not in that large enough numbers who were bold enough to come out. But I think that if they're currently in a state where they have no political power whatsoever, I mean, certainly there's Republicans who may pander to that, but no Republican, no sitting politician will overtly, advocate for an ethno-state. If they don't have political power, if really they don't have that much cultural power, sure, on the internet perhaps, but just in real life, I think that
people said the same thing about Donald Trump. Oh, there's just people on the internet supporting him. There's just like a group of people on the internet that support him. I mean, like, it just happened.
I feel like that's different because Donald Trump,
you think it's different, but you didn't think he'd get elected either, did you?
No, but here's the thing that why I do think that that's different, though, is because Donald Trump wasn't just playing to people, their tribalism and whatnot. He had an economically populist message that the other Republicans didn't have, which drew in people as well. I mean, he was against the TPP. He was against cutting Social Security. I mean, of course, he lied. He talked about we can't cut Medicare. So, I mean, I think that was something that really drew a lot of people in, that popularized Donald Trump. But with these people who advocate for an ethno-state, what aspect about them is marketable? That's not a marketable idea. They have to have something else. If there's some other political ideology that's attached to them wanting an ethno-state, then I'd say, okay, this could be problematic. But at this point, like, I think reasonable people, for the most part, are going to look at that and they're going to dismiss it. So if that's the case, generally speaking, of course, now again, I don't know how big the number of people is or if it's really growing in fact, but if that's the case, then I feel like bringing it to the light is playing their game. You're legitimizing them. And yeah, I just couldn't.
It's already there. I mean, like, honestly, it was like the biggest thing on YouTube for like a whole month. I mean, yeah, even Pim Monk says it. Like,
we're on the precipice of World War II too.
Yeah,
I mean, like, it's gotten to the point where it has to be discussed, and I always like we had JF on here, like, a friendly conversation with him. I'm sure he would say, like, it was pretty cool.
We were like,
we brought G-Man on at the end,
We're like, hey, dude, just tell us all about this ethno state and
Yeah,
how we
yeah.
can get in before it's too late.
Yeah, you did kind of piss him off though
well,
about
I
the
asked-
trash island, though, right?
I asked him, I don't feel like my rights have been taken away. I'm just as white as you are. Explain to me how my rights have been taken away. He's like, well, you don't want to have a baby.
You don't want to have a
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, that was the first thing he said.
The KKK took my baby away.
But like that's the thing is the whole like him being polite. Like even that, like that's just why I just have such a problem with giving these people a platform, even if they have a bigger platform.
They
because,
already have a platform, dude.
But think about this: it's in a way also normalizing it as well. What were the articles that we saw about Richard Spencer?
You
look
have
at this
to understand how
suave-
this looks, though. It looks bad. Like these people are coming to the arena of ideas with with whatever dumpster fire they're lighting in the middle of the arena, and everyone I get is like, I don't want to platform them. Well, they already have a platform. They already get thousands of views. They already get all these people that support them.
We need a
They
hero.
need someone like. I
But,
mean, like.
No, I do see what you're saying, but again, how much of that is them being in an echo chamber? Whereas if you bring them onto your show, they're getting out of their echo chamber, and maybe a couple of people hear it and they think, "Oh, okay, this guy, he seems like a nice, reasonable person."
JF
I may
did
not
not
agree
come
with
from
him.
our echo chamber.
There's been a lot of people that have joined the ethno state since JF's appearance on this show.
Yeah.
There's like 7 people in chat right now that are like team ethno state. Yeah, it's fucked up,
I
dude.
hope not. But no, and look, I'll say this: I don't. Me personally, being averse to like debating someone like that's not to say that I look down on someone who does want to debate them. I just personally think that it's not in the left's interest to like go back. It's almost like counterintuitive. Like we're past that. You know, we're moving on. Society is moving on without you. Culture is moving on without you, and
It's not.
I think it'll just die. I think it'll die off. I disagree. I think it's going to die off. I do.
I think all
if I'm
those
wrong,
milky
then
white
certainly we'll have
babies-
to figure out a way to address it.
That's
but,
like hiding under your blanket and waiting for the Nazis to stop bombing.
Nah,
you.
man, we're under the blanket.
I mean-
fucking
They're out
multicultural women
Sure.
making
But
colored
yeah, but
babies.
I'm gonna tell you though,
we're
man,
killing the
since
white
this
race
started-
by fucking.
But since this started getting popular on YouTube recently, man, they're coming out of the fucking woodwork,
They are.
dude. I'm
Sure,
telling you.
Yeah. No, I'm not denying that because I've seen a rise as well of, not just I don't the alt-right is associated with like ethno-state. I've seen a rise of it, but
It's the same.
It's the same. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I don't know too much about like where
It's okay. We know you're scared of Jeff. We understand.
Oh damn.
You're not gonna bait me, dude. I won't be
No, I completely respect, your decision not to do it. I just wish there would be more people that would debate those motherfuckers because, somebody that can put them down. Because JF is a smart guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a smart dude, but he's a hateful little motherfucker. Like he really is. And since he got popular, his ego. Oh Lord.
Oh, I'm
Papa
sure.
JF just wants to be loved.
And I mean, me and Jeff used to hang out all the time online and stuff and talk, but yeah, I can't go with what he's been saying lately. I just can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
They
feel no,
would
and,
not let you
and
into
again,
the
I don't
ethno
want to
state
like
anyways.
dismiss what you guys are arguing.
Oh,
I think that
yeah.
you make, I'm not being dismissive of that. I think that you're making, valid points. That basically it's a threat that we need to address, culturally. But yeah, for me, strategically, I just don't think it's smart to bring it out into the light. I know that there is this line of thinking that you guys probably agree with, that sunlight is the best disinfectant for extremism. Bring them out here, debate them, and shut them down.
Not always. But with this, yes.
Sunlight also
Because
will help a seed grow into a plant.
It's already
that's
already
kind of
done
my
its
fear.
dude. It's already done its due time in the sunlight, and it survived it.
I think we should get
And
the mother.
now's the time.
We should get the mother of a child who has a very low IQ to debate JF.
I'm not going there. I'm not even gonna go there.
Can you imagine? If your
I'm not going there.
Can you imagine if your daughter brought home a man like JF? Wouldn't you just want them to be happy? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just want them to be happy?
All right, guys, we're gonna end the show here.
If you love your child, but then you don't want, you don't support everything. That's
I just want
good.
There was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants.